Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Friday Nightmares podcast. I am one half, well, I guess today, one quarter of your hosting team today. Scott Smoke Show Crawford, coming from Swartz Creek, Michigan. And with me, as always, is my lovely Canadian goddess.
Canadian goddess. Wow, that's a title, Mr. Crawford. Heather Powell coming to you on this early morning in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. But we have the real deal with us today here, Scott.
Yes,
this is the first time we felt comfortable enough to have these guys on the show. They're our first guests. They're our firsts, which is a pretty big deal.
It is, so is.
I actually started listening to Tim Davis is one of our guests. And I started listening to this podcast because they posted on our page. And the first time I listened to it, they did an episode about, I think it was Outbreak and a couple other Outbreak movies. And it was so fucking funny. Like, I was walking and I was laughing out loud. And I'm pretty sure people were like, what the fuck is wrong with that chick? It was fucking mint. So they're going to teach us a thing or two today about how it's done, because we really need that help. But let's bring in Horror for Dummies, and let's start off with the one, the only Tim Davis. How you doing today, Tim?
Oh, g'day, mate. How you going?
Put another one on the body.
If you want, I can go on a full Australian rant right now and confuse
That'd be
the
perfect.
hell out of you.
It would be well, you know, you guys all have kangaroos and y'all look like Crocodile Dundee. That's what Scott thinks anyway. Scott,
It's true.
It's like Scott's American, right? So we, you know. But you have someone with you, really haughty, Daniel Loofy. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, what's going on?
So Daniel's my boyfriend, not by choice. He's actually never agreed to it. Like, Tim's agreed to be Scott, so it's kind of like a forced relationship.
Consent
Like,
is optional.
It's kind of like this. Like, Tim and Scott coupled off, and I'm the one left over, and Daniel's like, I guess I'll take one for the team. It's kind of...
Eventually, she's gonna be treating him like Lola treats the guy in Loved Ones.
Fuck. Oh my God.
We'll get to that.
I don't think I could stomach that. But why don't you guys tell us a little bit about Horror for Dummies? Tim or Daniel, if you want to go ahead.
You go.
Yeah, so Horror for Dummies, it's your typical horror podcast that does nothing new.
That's not true.
It has a lot of fun doing it. Okay, seriously. Horror for Dummies is a show that teaches the dummy, which is Loofy here, Daniel, the ways of horror. We usually pick a theme of the week and pick 2 films that fit that theme. And then we teach Loofy, the dummy, about those films. So recently we've just started our Halloween celebration, which we are calling the House of Horror. And our first episode, which has just come out 2 days ago, is an elimination style bracket in which we find the worst way to die, which you guys were a part of.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Featuring.
It was a long one, but wow. But yeah,
It was fun.
It was fun. But yeah, no, we have our own feed where you can find us on Horror for Dummies, but we're also members of the Padded Room Podcast Network. So we can be found there as well. And you can find us on anywhere where podcasts can be found, Spotify and iHeartRadio and all that stuff. So we're pretty accessible.
Very accessible. And
Yeah, you are.
currently, if you go on to iTunes and you give them a 5-star written review, you will be put in a draw for their Halloween prize pack, which will consist of nudes from both Tim and Daniel.
You gotta fucking zoom in, but there they are.
But their show, Tim is being very modest, but their show is absolutely amazing. Some of the favorite things that I like you guys do is Question of the Week, not just because I like insulting Scott when you do it, but I think the energy and time that you put into the show and Daniel's one-liners always make me laugh, especially when you don't get his one-liners, and I'm laughing now because you didn't get the one-liner, and Daniel's laughing at his own joke, and that's me on a regular basis with Scott.
Yeah, Heather is always laughing at her own damn jokes.
Always. I think I'm hilarious. But your show is just out of this world. And you guys even have your Netflix one. You have a short one that you do. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. And I always forget the name of the show, but it's
Dead
called
Pics on Netflix.
Dead Pics on Netflix. Is that right,
I
Luke?
think. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Dead Pics on Netflix, where we take a film obviously from Netflix, and we just give it about a 10-minute little review, whether
Just a
you should
mini
watch
review.
it or not. Yeah. So that's also in the same feed where you can find the main show. So
Yeah.
we just
And
like
you
to
have something
fun.
special that you've started too, Mr. Davis. Aren't you doing a Patreon thing now?
Oh, I am. It's not. It's on the Padded Room Patreon page, where it's just a top 10 episode. So I'm going back all the way to 1980 and doing a top 10 from each year. So at the moment, I think I just did the top 10 from 1982.
I gotta say, that's
sorry.
impressive.
It's a lot of work, man. But it's got me watching a lot of films that I haven't even come across. So that's the cool part of it. This month, actually, I'm doing a free episode of that where I'll be doing top 10 favorite monsters.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so that will be interesting. But that one will be free that later in the month. So, yeah, keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I'll definitely
pay
listen.
for quality when it comes to Tim, right? Scott and I just give it out.
Yeah, I'm a whore. I just give everything for free.
Like, you don't even have to buy us drinks. We just...
I just take it off right now.
Just how it is. But thank you. You're being way too modest. So I wanted to share that a little bit more about what you guys do, because I think you guys are incredible.
Yeah.
You know, I wish Scott had the editing skills that you guys
You know what?
And I wish I had the jokes that Daniel does. There's just certain things that we just don't have and compare. Scott's on that. Leaves the call. I'm like, well, I guess it's just me.
You guys are fantastic. So.
Oh, thank you.
You try. You know what? Like, I was saying last week when we started this, or I don't know, fucking 2 episodes ago or whatever, I was surprised we even got listeners. Like, to this day, I'm surprised more than 5 people listen to us. Like, for real.
I was hooked the first episode, so.
Yeah, it's like, you started showing us love right away, and then I was saying that's kind of how our show's Love Fest kind of became a thing.
Yeah, that's right. And now we're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Well, no, Luffy's forced with me, okay? Like, he's taken one for the team, okay? Like, I'm Iago, and he got stuck with me at the party. Daniel's dying.
I'm so sorry, Luffy.
I'm happy being open.
But I guess we should get into our 2020 watches. Unless, I don't know, Scotty, do you have anything to add? Aren't you doing something this October you've been posting every day about, super annoyingly?
Oh, I'm doing, oh, that's right, because, Heather has to make fun of me about this, but this is something I've done every year, but it's my countdown to Halloween, so I'm just pretty much watching what I've already been doing first-time watches and stuff like that, and just watching a bunch of films and then sharing them on our Facebook page on Friday Nightmares and my personal page. It's something I've done for the last 5 years, so I just continue doing it. And, since I just watch, 5 movies a day, it's going to be way more than 31 movies by the end of the month, that's for sure.
You'll have, 90s numbers.
So much.
Right? It's pretty exciting. I've been working, not watching anything except for the movies we had to. And I watched a little bit of Scare Me yesterday. Still haven't fucking finished it. Fuck my life. Fuck responsibilities. Fuck that shit.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to watch that together, Missy.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. No,
you are.
Scott, you know, I'm barely keeping it together. Let's keep our expectations, real low here. So I guess we'll break into our 2020. We'll start off with the first one. Tim and Daniel, please chime in if you've seen any of these and you want to share or you have questions.
Sure.
I will.
That sounded really sexy.
Yeah.
More of that to come, everybody. Keep it.
Oh, more of me to come. Wait, oh.
Yeah. And that for our Patreon page.
Oh my gosh.
One member, it would be Scott paying for himself to see.
That's right. I'm sure I'll have Tim paying for it too.
Yeah, he would pay for it just to be nice, just to be a friend.
I'll be first in line.
All right, so let's start off with Rent-A-Pal 2020. Who saw this out of all 4 of us? I did, Scott did. Did you gentlemen see it?
Not yet, no.
Is it available in Australia?
I haven't looked, to be honest. I'm a bit behind on my 2020 watches, but I haven't looked, but probably not, knowing Australia.
Right.
Sad face. I don't know, Scotty, you want to chat about it then? While I look up to see where it's available, because I didn't do that yet, so I'm
but yeah, Rent-A-Pal is basically about this. It's based in the 90s, and it's about this guy that is a house taker or a caregiver for his mother, and he pretty much is just lonely and kind of doing what would be like the 90s version of online dating, where it's like videotapes that he goes and picks up of like other singles that are like, they do like a 10 second to a minute long video explaining who they are and whatnot. And
Love
that if
watching
you like
those on
them-
YouTube.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, the
Nice.
old ones.
Nice.
Yeah, but so he's just going through these tapes, but then he comes across one with this guy named Andy on it, who's just like this rent-a-pal. He's just like this friendly-go-lucky guy, played by Will Wheaton of all people, and
Wow.
he pretty much just becomes obsessed with this tape and just watches it over and over and over again, and it just kind of shows, like, you feel bad for this guy, like what he goes through, because I don't want to give too much away, but it kind of reminds me like the sympathy you would feel for the character May in the movie May. And wow, this movie just freaking blew me away. Like, I was glued to the screen. I really empathize with that character. Like, and it shows just like how hard it is to be a caretaker. And
Absolutely. And how hard video dating is. I think it also
Yeah.
like shows how superficial it was in the 1990s to online dating today. I know that's very much a secondary piece of it, but it's well acted.
oh, it's
So
amazingly
well
acted.
acted. I agree. I don't think I've seen someone watch this yet, except for maybe one or two people that did enjoy it. So gentlemen, if you get a chance when it comes to Australia, I would definitely recommend it. It's sad though. Like,
I had a look. I couldn't find it anywhere.
oh, sad
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah, because this is my number 5 of the year right now. It
Wow,
may go
okay.
on.
It sounds awesome. I'm
I'm in.
Though definitely you want to go all the way in. So for
Those date.
our American and Canadian audience, then it can be found on Apple, Google, Vudu, DirecTV, if you're interested in renting it. And I would definitely think it's worth whatever you pay, like the $5.99, $6.99.
Yeah, it is totally worth the
It's
rental for
definitely,
this.
you won't regret it. So check it out. And Scotty, why don't you take on our next one?
All right. So the next one we ended up watching was a movie from 2020 called Spree. I can't remember the actor's name, but it stars the guy that played Steve in Stranger Things. And
Yeah, I'm looking up his name right now. I think it's
Okay.
Joe. Joe
Kiri.
Fury. Look at that. Thank you, Daniel.
but yeah, it's pretty much about a young guy that ends up kind of doing like this Uber style thing. I forget. I think it's called Spree. But yeah, he's going and picking up people, but he's also like recording it on like social media. He's trying to be like a social influencer or whatever you call those. And he's just not having any luck. So he decides to up the ante on how to get like people to watch. And that is by pretty much grabbing anybody that's needing a ride, picking them up, and killing them on screen. And it just pretty much ramps up from there. It's kind of funny, sad, and dark all at the same time. He's just trying so hard to like become popular, and he's going to show what lengths he will go to do that.
It's
And
like Scott and I on Friday Nightmares.
yeah, exactly. Soon we'll start killing people.
So
on
hard
screen.
to be popular. It's a good movie. It's a perfect runtime at 93 minutes. So have you gentlemen seen it?
No.
no.
When it becomes available, it's short, it's sweet. It's very much plays off of social media, and it's a ride share, which makes it even more interesting because there's Uber now and there's ride shares. So that means you can have multiple people picked up. So there's some good conversations between characters. It's a little social justice-y at times, but
Oh, it is.
I don't think it was too over the top. Like, but then again, we all know my love for politically charged movies. So
That is so true.
in all fairness.
And this one has some characters, especially in the beginning, that you're just like, oh, I hate these people so freaking much.
Yeah, it does a really
Nice.
good job, and it's quick. I think what I really appreciate about some horror movies is, and I've talked about this before, like, I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes an hour and a half is sweet spot. You know, if you drag it out even that extra 10 minutes, you can be like, holy fuck, is this movie going to end anytime soon?
Definitely. Yep.
That sounds good.
Awesome. So for our listeners that are not in Australia, you can find it on Apple, Google, Vudu, and YouTube. You can actually rent it on the YouTube. So
Nice.
maybe you guys can rent it on YouTube. Is YouTube the same in Australia?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I've watched a few movies on YouTube, so I'm gonna guess it's the same.
Maybe. There's times where stuff comes out for
It's not. Okay.
Scott,
No.
and I don't get it in Canada. particularly Canadian movies.
Which is so weird.
It's all region locked. Like regional.
It is. It's stupid.
Stupid. Especially for how close her and I are. It's like we're only like 4 hours away from each other, yet we can't watch the same shit.
Well, what's even worse is that people in Buffalo, like Dave Z, shout out Dave Z, who's like fucking an hour away, could watch something that I couldn't.
Right.
But you know, I don't have the U.S. problems. I got 91 problems, but the presidential debate ain't one.
He's got bigger problems.
I say he's got bigger problems now.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Itty bitty tiny problems. Itty
bitty. So this one, I know Tim has seen, so I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on it. Antebellum, probably the most controversial movie that's come out so far. With people either just, I haven't heard anyone say they love it, but I've heard a lot of people say they hate it. So Tim, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Okay. For the most part, I actually enjoyed this film. I can see why people have a problem with it. I mean, its whole message of the film is kind of why. Like, I didn't really get the whole message behind it. I mean, I got it, but like, it's obvious. But the film itself is really, really well made. The score in it is fucking perfect. I love the score in it. The acting is really top notch. I enjoyed my time with it. It's not a film I'll probably return back to, though.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you, and I feel like people really shit on it, and I feel a lot of that has to do with world events right now. I think if this came out and things hadn't happened that had happened this year, maybe people will be more receptive. I listened to a great review on Fresh Cuts yesterday about it, and they talked about how they didn't.
Heard that too.
You've heard it as well, and they talked about how like there was no redeemable white people in the movie, and I agree, but I disagree with them about Get Out, because they said in Get Out there was all the white people in Get Out were racist, and they were doing stereotypes and systematic racism. Yeah. So it was the same thing. All the white people in that were bad too. Like the cop was bad to everybody. Yeah. It was bad. Yeah. But I think with Antebellum, it just the acting, that the second act, like there was scenes in it where I'm like, am I fucking watching Sex in the City? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I can see that. And
as a female, there is some things that one of the characters says to a man that I would never, ever say to somebody. Like, it's rude. Mm-hmm. But I agree, Tim. The score was incredible. It was filmed beautifully. The main character you felt invested in, like you cared what happened to her. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but it's definitely not in my top like 30 or 40. It was kind of just there. What do you think, Scotty? Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll say you guys pretty much are saying the exact same things I was thinking, especially with the second act. There were some very cringe-worthy moments, but yeah, the score is beautiful. The opening was probably like 10 minutes shot, like with the just non-stop camera following like everything. Like there was no cutaway, and the cinematography is just freaking amazing in this movie.
And I think people will either love the slow mode shots that are in it or hate it. And I figured out what was going on very early, and I told
you did.
Just from some subtle things. I mean, we can talk about it after the podcast. You guys probably won't be able to, but we'll chat about it some other time. That really did tip its hat, like just with language and stuff like that was used. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like people are shitting on this unnecessarily. Like, I don't think it's I don't know. We've seen much worse films. The one that Scott's Drama Club did, They Reach, is a fucking way worse one.
They Reach was awesome, and you can just shut your mouth.
The Schwartz Creek Drama Club that Scott's friends with that created that movie is way worse.
You can kiss my ass.
If you want to see this movie, you can find it on Apple, Google Play, Vudu, YouTube, and probably, like, I know in Canada, Cineplex, we'll rent it. I don't know. Is AMC do home rentals and stuff like that, Scott?
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I'm actually going to check it out next week at the movies.
Oh, you're going to the theater? The theater.
Nice.
Are you going on a date?
Nah.
I'll say Heather's gonna get jealous if that's the case.
Yeah, that's great. I fly to Australia and I'm like, hi Daniel, want to go see the Stage 10 clinger. Not even
Be
5.
warned.
10.
How the fuck did you get around all the quarantine stuff?
She's Canadian. She found a way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Canadian.
It's not American, so come on in.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right, Scotty, you got this next bitch?
All right. So yeah, the next one has 2 different titles. I'm not sure. I think it's under No Escape on Amazon Prime, but it's also known as Follow Me. And once again, this is another one of those following a social media influencer who is just doing random videos with his friends and stuff like that. And he's really popular. And well, he gets invited to, I think it was it Russia?
Yeah, I think it's Russia. I think you're right. It's Russia.
But yeah, he gets invited to Russia to this really intense escape room. And we've seen several movies where escape rooms go bad. And that's exactly what this is.
There was other movies that came out about that?
Yeah.
Escape room?
Yeah, this one reminded me a lot of Escape Room and Saw. And
Hostel.
And Hostel. That was
a
the
little
other
bit
one.
of Hostel sprinkled in.
Yes. Like it's
is it as graphic as those films?
It's got some moments, but I wouldn't say it's nothing like Saw's graphicness. It's more or less like the contraptions that are in it reminded me a lot of Saw.
I thought it was pretty graphic at parts.
Yeah, I'd say there were some graphic parts, but I was like just like compared to Saw and stuff like that though.
Yeah, Saw is just an never-ending gore fest. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, this was one that I wasn't too sure on when I first started watching him going, all right, I hate this main character so much, but that's because he's one of those just annoying, superficial social media influencers. And that's exactly how he's supposed to play. And his character grows throughout the movie, which makes it better. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with this one. This is probably in like my top 50 out of the 157 that I've watched so far this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, there you go. I finally found it. Fuck my life. I need to be more prepared. I know. I'm just fucking making it up as I go. I agree, Scott. I really liked it. It was emotional throughout it.
Yeah.
I had low expectations going in because I'm like, it's a concept we've seen before. But this was a concept we've seen before, but it was done well. And there's nothing wrong with repeating an idea. Like, look at how many zombie films we had. Horror for Dummies just did a 4-part series, which was phenomenal on zombie movies. So, for example, you can repeat shit and still be good. Or you can be Day of the Dead Bloodlines. But...
oh, God. Please don't be that ever again.
So bad.
No one shall say that name. Do not speak that name. But this movie was enjoyable. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have where you can rent it yet. So I'm assuming.
I think at least in the U.S. it was Amazon Prime. I'm double checking right now, but because I think it's under the title No Escape.
Oh, I'm just looking on Letterboxd and it doesn't have anything there. So you're probably right, and then probably Apple, because Apple has fucking everything. So probably Apple.
Yeah, Apple and probably Google Play, I would guess.
Yeah, and while you're on Apple, give a 5-star review.
Yeah. But yeah, No Escape can be rented on Amazon Prime.
Nice. Yeah, it's totally worth it. I think that a lot of people may not like this because of the concepts being similar, but it's a great ride. Like it's heavy. Like you're invested, and it's a 88-minute runtime. Yet again, doesn't overstay its welcome. Gets to the fucking point.
Yep, super short, and it's pretty much like I was glued to the screen from the get-go, even though I hated that main character for a while.
Well, and you're supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
Right? Gets the job done, which is what I like, in and out. No commitment. Poor Tim. He's like, what the fuck did I walk into? Daniel's like, preach it, Heather. All right.
No, Tim's just waiting for me to start talking like that to him.
No, Tim's all like, suddenly he's like, I regret this decision to be on Friday Nightmares.
No, I was just thinking because that movie that you were just talking about was at the cinemas not long ago here in Australia.
Oh, really?
Is it? Yeah. I was going to go, and then my stupid wife had to have this stupid baby, so I didn't get a chance to go.
Man, how inconvenient. You didn't ask her to hold it in for a couple of days? You're like, can you just push it back up?
She's selfish, okay? That's just me.
So rude.
I love how you talk about your wife. Like on your last episode, she left a comment on your Facebook and you're like, yeah, some bitch. I think she is the coolest chick to like be down with that shit. I bet she gives it right back to you. Like I bet she has like some fucking lady balls.
She takes no shit.
That's
I'll
awesome.
admit. When she's
That's
angry,
awesome.
watch out.
She sounds badass. Not only is she hot, she's badass. Good job, Tim. Good job.
Thank you.
And you're okay too. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Oh,
Aw.
Scott claimed you first. What am I supposed to do? Like, I got shitty. Like, I didn't have a chance against Smokeshore Crawford. Like, that's not fair. You know what it's like working with a 10 and you're like a 2? It's really, really challenging.
It's more like I'm a 12 and you're a 12.
Oh, yeah, you're 12. I love it. All right, back to the movies. Alone 2020. And I think, did I tell you about this one, Scott? I watched it first.
Yes.
Okay. This is very much a survival film, small cast. I wasn't sure at first how it was going to be, but fuck, what a good movie. Like, it's a really, really good watch. Suspenseful, uses its scenery really well. I don't want to give too much away because Scott always spoils movies, so I'm going to try not to. It's basically one character traveling across the country and getting a road rage incident that goes very, very, very poorly. But yeah, it's a fucking solid film. I think that's my 15 out of 150 now or whatever the fuck I've watched. Yeah, so it's good. And yeah, Scotty, what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, this is I'm trying to remember because this one, sorry Heather, it was okay, but I just forget a lot about it.
Oh, is it because your drama club didn't do it?
It pretty much, yeah. Now this is the one about where the woman was making a lot of bad decisions in the beginning, right?
She did make a lot of bad decisions.
Okay, so yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of then.
Like me last night, I was making a lot of bad decisions.
So yes, this one's probably in my I think top 40. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Like at first I'm just going, oh, this woman is making so many dumb decisions. Why? Like I was starting to lose interest, but I remember you told me to stay with it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, after a while it just got a lot better. And yeah, it became pretty intense, and it was kind of I guess kind of fit in the line of the survival horror genre.
Absolutely did. Yeah, we could have used it for our show. I liked it a lot more than he did, and I know that their podcaster liked it a lot too. But would you say it's worth paying for? It's on Vudu, so I don't know how Vudu works in the States.
Yeah, I think you gotta pay for it. And I'd say it's worth the rental because yeah, it's a good watch. Yeah, because I was thinking of another movie I watched that was way lower. So yeah, this is definitely worth the watch. Very well acted. You do question the decisions in the beginning, but that's about it. And it's just pretty tense, and I think it's also fairly short, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 98 minutes. 98 minutes. So that's not too bad. I don't feel it drags. I feel like that extra 8 minutes, it's fine. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely worth checking it out. It's a very fun movie to watch.
You got your pussy there.
I do. Mr. Biff is on the screen. Oh,
Always. All right, you take on the next one. I haven't seen this. Who wrote this one?
This is me.
Oh.
Or I think. Or did you guys watch this one?
Ghosts of War?
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I watched it. Well, then I guess we should let Tim lead us and talk about it.
Well, okay.
But this one.
I'll try my best.
All the best. Checkmate.
Hold on. Let me go get my Fosters.
You need to put one on the Barbie first.
How to speak Australian.
So, Ghosts of War from 2020. I got this as a screener from a company called Rialto Distribution in Australia. Shut up. I'm trying to. Anyway, so the story is 5 American soldiers near the end of World War II quickly descend into madness when they encounter a supernatural enemy more terrifying than anything seen on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So this one's starring actually some notable names. It's got, and I don't know their names off by heart, but the dude from Sons of Anarchy, and I think his name's Theo Rossi. And then it's got the dude from the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, the sleepy one that's always sleepy. And also Billy Zane. Yes. Billy Zane's in this movie. Remember Billy Zane? He was cool.
Billy Zane's great.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do more in his career. But anyway. So it starts some famous names. And for the most part, I was really enjoying this movie. Really well shot. The cinematography is stunning in this movie. And the set designs are just, they really went above and beyond with the set designs. But the the third act happens, and I'm not going to say I hated it. I was just it hit me a little off guard. I was just like, where are they going with this? It's a bit strange and weird where they're going. And I appreciate what they were trying to do. They were trying to do something different, but I don't know if it really hit for me. I'm still tossing and turning in my brain whether I liked it or not. And I'm more leaning towards the side of I didn't like it. Overall, though, it's a pretty decent film. For the most part, I enjoyed it. It was just that third act that just kind of let it down for me a little bit. So, Scott, you've seen this, haven't you?
Yep, I actually just watched this on Sunday, so that's why I was confused if I had put this on the list or not. And yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you, except with that third act, I actually raised it up for me a little bit because I was just kind of like taking it back, and I'm going, well, this is different.
Finish him.
Flawless victory.
There is something that happens with this group of soldiers, and a decision that they make towards the end that really pissed me off. It really made me dislike them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it involves a family.
Yep.
Michael Jack?
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. And honestly, I kind of disliked the soldiers pretty much from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, like especially the like macho man the macho dude that's like trying to fist fight that one guy. Oh my god, I hated that dude so much. But
trying to fist Billy Zane.
Yeah. Trying to fist Billy Zane.
May I just
he's not the first one.
Billy Zane putting on a German accent. He did a pretty good job.
I know, because I was questioning. I'm like, wait, is that really Billy Zane? I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I was questioning it after a while. But yeah, like I had fun with this movie altogether. Like it was, because at first I'm going, okay, another World War II supernatural horror film. Okay, we've seen this a billion times. But then, like as it kept going, I'm going, well, this is taking a different twist to it. And then that third act happened, and I'm going, well, this just got really interesting. I did not expect this at all. Like it's good. That ending is going to be either it's going to make you love the movie or hate it, or not even hate it, like, or just be disappointed with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, do you recommend a rental, gentlemen?
I do.
I do as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that if you're looking for a World War II type horror film, I think the movie called Overlord. If you guys seen that,
what a good movie! Yeah.
I think that's better. But this one, it's enjoyable for the most part. I think it's worth a watch.
Especially because it's like a low budget. It's another low budget horror film where Overlord was, big budget and you could see it on the screen. Where this one, like, they got a little bit more clever with what they had to do.
Now, Tim, I just have one question. Definitely. Have you seen They Reach?
I haven't, and I heard you last week talking about it, and I was trying really hard to find it so I could speak about it on this episode. I could not find it.
Well, Scott has the director's cut that's signed. Maybe he can mail it to you.
I really want to see this just to see what you guys are talking about.
Probably going to agree with
Scott. I want to know.
Well, I don't know. Tim and I do tend to disagree on our movies sometimes.
I just feel like Tim does that to be nice. Like, to make you feel like you have to, I don't know, defend yourself a little bit because it's like a drama club movie. But anyway, I just want to see if it's better than They Reach. I've seen it. I know.
I will watch it before the end of the year and let you know.
Okay. Only let me know if you didn't like it. If you agree with Scott, I don't care. I don't need to.
Wow.
But thank you for the recommendation, guys. It can be found at least in Canada and the United States on Apple, Google, and YouTube. Is it available for rent in Australia, Tim? Or
I believe it is. I know you can buy it on physical copy through Rialto Distribution. So shout out to them. So you can buy it on DVD and all that.
Oh yeah, no, you can get it on iTunes and Google Play.
There you go.
And Telstra TV, apparently.
What's that called?
Telstra TV.
Is that like an Australian thing?
Yeah, it must be. Telstra's like a phone company here, like
Okay, yeah, that like I've never heard of that
or some shit. Yeah, I don't know.
That makes sense. We have phone companies that have their own cable and shit here. See, Canada and Australia are kind of advanced. So we're a little bit further ahead.
And America is just kind of like, wah, wah.
Well, you got two people. You got like the Muppets, the two old men from the Muppets debating.
Oh my gosh. Or is it It's the old man yelling at clouds, just times 2.
Oh, it's true. It's true. The next movie we have, I've seen, and I think, Daniel, you've seen this one, right?
Sure did.
I think, are we the only two that have seen it?
Yep.
Awesome. So this is going to be a good review.
Oh, boy.
Definitely.
For sure. The New Mutants. I'm going to get your thoughts first because I'm not a comic book person, so take it away.
Look, it's another X-Men movie. The trailers lied about it being a horror movie, personally. It is more of a teen drama CW movie than a horror movie, for sure. They totally could have done some more scary shit with the powers that someone in particular has, but they just didn't. A lot of people seem to hate it, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfectly watchable. They're not mutants that anybody would really know. Like, they're not any of the famous X-Men. So a bit of a deep cut if you do know some of them. But I thought it was fine. What do you think?
Well, I don't know much about comic book movies. So I saw the original X-Men simply because it was filmed near me. The New York scene was actually filmed in Burlington, Ontario. That's why I watched it. And I've seen a handful. I thought it was, for what it was, I thought it was entertaining. I honestly went to support the theaters, and it was one of the few new movies I hadn't seen. It was very teen drama. I think you summed it up perfectly when you said it's something you would see on CW. It was totally that. I feel like they just threw in stuff because they're like, it's 2020, see how woke we are? Which is fine. Which is fine. Yeah. Like, I'm woke, so be woke. But yeah, for like the watch of it, it was easy to sit through. But I think if you were a hardcore comic book fan, like I've been told by, when I posted that I enjoyed it, I had people being like, well, you've never read the comics, you don't know. Yeah. Like, no, I haven't.
Look, they do some weird shit with the characters that doesn't really gel. But it's fine. Especially with the X-Men movies, they do whatever they want to. So
don't they?
You just got to roll with it.
You just go. You just consent and you go for the ride.
Yeah, but most of it's just talking.
That is
third act CGI, fucking crap fest like always.
Yeah, this was. I'm just gonna jump in real quick and ask: wasn't this Fox before Disney bought them up? Like, wasn't this made by Fox?
Yeah, this was made like years and years and years and years ago.
I'll say so. It still has that like X-Men. Definitely has that X-Men feel then, because Fox.
Yeah, they just sat on it for ages because they didn't know what to do with it, and they released it now, which says something. Like they're just like, just put it out. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
we're Disney. We can afford to take a loss if it doesn't do well.
Yeah, like they're putting it out now. Nobody's going to the movies. I don't even think they put it on VOD by the looks.
Nope.
As well, and they're just like, put it out. See how much money it makes the movies. We'll probably put it on VOD next month or something. That's the feel I got from it.
I think, I just think it's a teen drama. If you like teen dramas and you want to be entertained enough for an hour and a half or however long it was, like it was short. Though out of all the new movies I've seen in theaters, definitely Peninsula, I think Tim has seen. He did a whole little bit. That was the best, followed by Unhinged. Were probably the ones I've enjoyed, out of the whole like 3 theater watches I've seen.
Yep, I'll say Unhinged is the only one that. Unhinged and Bill and Ted Face the Music are the only 2 I've seen so far.
Yeah, I forgot that you saw that at the drive-in. That's right.
Yep, and by the way, theaters are opening next Friday. Finally, yes.
Right, you can finally take someone and get a hand job in that bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, like myself. like I'll start eating my own popcorn and go, oh, what's this? Ooh.
A surprise.
Nice flavoring.
Yum 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 in my tum tum. All right, I'll let you take this one. Who watched this actually?
This is Daniel, I think, the watch these last 2.
Daniel.
I watched it last night.
Well, then I guess you better talk about it.
Yeah, I think it came out yesterday too. I didn't really see it before this. It's kind of a kids on bikes vampire movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's set in New York. It's these bunch of kids trying to
set in New York. In the Bronx.
Yeah. Yep, the Bronx is in New York.
Wait, are you trying to get him to say the name?
Yeah. Super surprising. And it's got vampires in it.
No
Would it
way.
be called Vampires versus the Bronx?
Yeah,
Do the vampires
I know.
go up against the Bronx?
You know
Is
what?
Jason
That
there?
literally happened. It's kind of the last act. Spoilers.
Cool.
Yeah. It's cool. The vampires look cool. The kids are amusing enough. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good little popcorn movie, man.
Nice. Do you recommend paying to watch it?
It's actually on Netflix.
You
Oh,
don't
is
have to
it?
because it's
Yeah.
a Netflix original. So if you pay
Oh.
for Netflix, it's just there anyway.
And it's a Netflix, so if you guys have it and Scott has it, I probably have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
you
have
more
it.
than likely do. It's gonna be something we'll have to watch for sure.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's super fun. The vampires look decent, which is always a problem sometimes. They look like kind of better Buffy vampires, if I had to
Hmm.
Nice.
pick.
Yeah,
Oh, that that was something that pissed me off about New Mutants. I just remembered
What?
when they kept referencing Buffy before things would happen in the movie.
Oh.
So like they had
Yes.
scenes with Willow and Tara, which developed into the thing you're talking about.
Yep.
And then when they referenced a particular monster, and then their monster looks almost the same, and I was like, "Why did you do that?"
Wow.
But yeah, anyway, it was just annoying. But yeah,
Yeah, and I did want to say about Vampires versus the Bronx. We
Mhm.
actually just got a post on our Facebook page today from our buddy Phil Ray saying this is his favorite movie of the year now.
Wow.
Yeah, these
If
are
Phil
fun.
likes it, it's probably pretty good. He has good taste.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I definitely want to check this out now because like as soon as he said that, I'm going, well, shit, all right, I'm gonna have to watch.
yeah, I
this
don't
too.
want to spoil too much about it, but it's it's really good. I think Tim would like it for sure.
Hell yeah. Sounds good. Vampires on bikes. I'm in.
Do you like Twilight, Tim? Were you a big fan of the Twilight series?
See, okay, here's the thing. My wife loves those movies, and she tried to make me watch them. We watched the first movie, and then she just showed me highlights of the rest of the movies. I couldn't do it. It's just not me.
I did.
I watched up to the one where she got pregnant, and I found that like I got more and more confused with Jacob becoming super buff and shit because he was like a baby, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, why is this 17-year-old kid running around ripped? And I'm looking at him.
Don't you like the perfect solution to the love triangle problem?
That's true. That's right.
Well, you just wait until the couple pairs off, and then they have a kid, and then you fuck their kid.
Like, it's true. It's an imprinted. I didn't see part 2. I just know about it.
I'm not joking. That's
Yeah, he's
the
not kidding.
solution.
That's what happens.
That's
in
what
the-
happens.
Wow.
Spoilers for Twilight.
Yeah, spoilers for everyone here that loves Twilight. I remember the first time, like I saw it in the theater with an ex of mine, and he really wanted to see it. And there was this scene, like, what was her fucking name? Who was the chick? She had
Bella?
Bella.
Stewart,
Kristen Stewart and like Robert Pattinson. She's in the car and she goes to touch him. And she's like, "You're so cold." I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck did I get myself into?"
So breathy. Everything was so breathy in this.
It
fucking
was,
movie.
and a lot of staring. And
Yeah,
a lot of
intense.
staring at each other.
Yeah.
Scott actually loves it, and he rewatches it every day.
I've never even, I think I've made it about a quarter of the way through one of the movies, and I just
Liar.
Yep.
Liar,
Yeah.
liar, liar, pants on fire.
I mean, my
Um,
pants are on fire, but that's because Tim's on the screen.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Just making you picture tent, am I?
Oh, you are, baby.
All right, so Walk Away. Who watched Walk Away? I don't even
I
know.
watched Walk Away.
Whoa, Daniel!
Um,
Fuck, you're bringing the Tim. What the fuck?
It's I didn't watch any other movies.
I have other ones.
Who's the dummy now, Tim?
Bitch.
I'm just saying, Daniel's brought it. He's talked about a lot. He's talked about more than me, if it makes you feel better. So, anyway,
Yeah, this was just on our version of Prime, so you guys probably have it. I was just looking up 2020 shit, and it was a little kind of independent movie where these 5 people go to this cabin, and then they can't leave. So as soon as they step out of a certain line, they immediately vanish and appear back in the attic. Yeah. So it's just like they're all just like trying to deal with being stuck there, and then it all goes sour. To not spoil it.
Well, it's on Prime for everybody. Do you recommend it?
If you really, really like movies, if that idea sounds interesting to you, it's an interesting watch. It's a cool idea. It's not very well acted. It's not very gory, but I think for me the idea kind of carried it enough. But I don't think it's a good movie. I think I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, so it sounds like don't waste your time unless you're really trying to pad numbers, Scott.
I don't pad numbers, Missy. Not anymore.
You know what it reminds me of when you describe that? Have you guys ever seen Don't Blink from 2011, I think it was?
No.
Never heard of that one.
It was on Netflix Canada. I don't know if it's on Netflix for you guys, but it's basically similar concept, and people start disappearing, and it's low budget, but they use their budget smart. You know, you can do a low budget. We've talked about the show a billion times. You can do a low budget film and put your money where it counts. And it reminds me a lot of that film, which Don't Blink sounds like it was a slightly better film than the one you watched.
Yeah, honestly, with this one, it's a lot of the acting and the dialogue really lets it down for me. And the characters are fairly unlikable as well.
Well, and if they're not supposed to be unlikable, then you have a problem.
I couldn't tell if they were supposed to be or not. I really couldn't.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
So, yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Anyway.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for sharing. That was awesome to have other people besides Scott and I just pick on each other. Okay, me pick on Scott for his choices. So thank you. We're going to break into our older films now. Mine's first, but probably you guys have seen this one. Fright Night, 1985.
Well, what's that movie?
Yeah.
I know, right? Like, I'm such a virgin. Like, I'm like, hi guys, I watched Fright Night for the very first time.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Fright Night either?
No, man.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
Who's the dummy now?
I know. Tim's like, I told you Daniel was the dummy.
I am redeemed.
I am the dummy because I just saw a whole bunch of movies for the first time. Anyway, I really enjoyed Fright Night 1985. Unpopular opinion, I really like the remake that came out. I think it was in 2010 or 2011 with Colin Farrell. I thought he was great.
Anton Yelchin, rest in peace.
Yeah, like what a promising young man. Like that's a real shame.
Yeah.
Promising young man. I found the remake more intense, to be honest. Obviously, it's 1985, so like the practical effects, though, definitely incredible in 1985. The kid was super annoying. The main character, I wanted to punch him in the fucking face. Like I just couldn't fucking stand him. But the vampire played by who was my boyfriend? Who did it?
Chris Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon. It reminds me of a podcaster, and he's my boyfriend. So I definitely would have been bitten like beginning of the fucking movie. So but I liked it. 1985, enjoyable. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's a classic. Check it out. But I also enjoyed the remake as well. Scott, did you ever get to watching the remake? I know you said you were thinking of it.
I did not get a chance to watch it yet. I'm hoping to get to it sometime this week. Though I do have to say, I'm happy to hear that you turned around on this one, because I remember when you first started watching this, you're like, it was
a fucking piece of shit within the first 15 minutes. It got better.
The
first act was horrible. The acting was bad. I feel like everyone learned how to act as the movie went on. And I don't care if people don't like that. That's exactly how I felt watching it. Any thoughts you guys wanted to add on Fright Night? I guess, Tim?
Yeah, I'm guessing you haven't, but have you seen Fright Night Part 2? The original?
No, I haven't.
Give that a go. It's not as good as the first one, but it's a lot of fun. I actually quite enjoy Fright Night Part 2 from 1988.
Okay.
If you want to watch a worse
movie. Don't watch the remake sequels. They're hot garbage.
Okay.
I forgot there was remake sequels.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. 3 or something. I know there was definitely one, but I heard there was another one as well. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you. And I guess we'll move on to the next one. Whose is this bad boy?
This is mine. Little Monsters from 1989. This one's a kids' film. Straight up, not gonna lie. This one I watched with my kids. So the story is a child meets the monster that lives under his bed. He even becomes one of his best friends. Soon the child discovers a whole new world of fun and games under his bed, where pulling pranks on kids and other monsters is the main attraction. So this stars Fred Savage and Howie Mandel.
Yep, I was going to say this must be the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. What's Howie Mandel from?
He did Bobby's World. He is the voice of Gizmo, the greatest movie of all time, Gremlins.
Oh fuck! I've seen this.
Yeah. It's
I saw it when I was a kid,
everyone,
but I've seen this.
Yeah. It's one that probably everyone saw when they were a kid. I remember watching this all the time when I was a kid, and it's on Amazon Prime, and I just wanted something to watch for the kids. I'm like, fuck, I haven't watched this for years. And so I put it on.
You thought
and
Saw was maybe a little too much, so you put this on instead?
Well, Luffy likes to take my daughter and watch Jason X with her while he's son.
She picked it.
No, but yeah, this one, it's enjoyable. It's fun.
Way too stoned to pick a movie.
I will admit that Howie Mandel's character, I think his name is Morris or Maurice or something like that. He gets a little overbearing at times and too full on, where it became a little bit annoying. But no, it's enjoyable. It's a kids' film, but it's like an entry level horror film. I mean, the movie's filled with monsters,
which I'll say kind of fits with our last episode with children in horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except these children aren't evil, so.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like the entry level horror movie for kids,
yes.
like towards our Out of the Dark segment we had.
What did your kids think of it?
Right.
Like, I always wonder what kids think of 1989 movies nowadays.
Okay, to be perfectly honest, my kids have grown up around the films that I watch. So they're like, look, my daughter can point out Michael Myers by name and all this stuff. So she's a little advanced with her horror movie watching.
I remember she was like, Jason. Yeah. She knows them all by name. She'll see a picture and she'll be like, that's Freddy. I'm
just so proud of you as a parent, you know?
Oh,
like, that's amazing.
Raising them right, yeah.
Raising them right.
They enjoyed it. Honestly, I think they're more into the more violent horror films, if I'm being real. So
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wonder, because I always think the 80s, like, not horror, but I remember watching Homeward Bound, and I fucking love that movie.
Yep.
And I used to do this thing. I used to work at the YMCA, and we used to do this video and swim night for kids. And I'm like, oh, we'll put on Homeward Bound. It's such a good film. It was fucking horrible. Like, it was bad. And I'm like, and the kids are like, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, why are we watching this right now?
The dogs talk.
It's bad, Daniel. Have you watched it recently when you're not high? Like, it's
when you're not high.
it's not. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I'm glad that they dug it and you had fun. Every time you said little monsters, all I could think is My Pet Monster. And
which I have at home.
Yeah, the show, right?
Well, the show and my Pet Monster, the stuffed animal I have.
Yes, which is from the show.
Yeah. Which I never seen the show, actually.
Really?
Yeah, never knew there was a show until like after I got that My Pet Monster back from my parents.
You know what? I am stealing that stuffed toy when I come. Not. You should not be having that with not knowing that show.
We're fighting.
Well,
America versus Canada.
Well, we knew it was going to win.
I know, unfortunately.
Like, no, you guys aren't. This is an Independence Day, Scott. Okay, we all know we can't rely on you guys.
The day. God damn it.
The next one is Phantom of the Opera, 1925. Who watched this?
I did.
Oh, very woke, Tim.
This is where all my time has been going. We are doing an episode later on this month on the Universal Monsters. So I am making my way through all of them. And the Phantom of the Opera, 1925.
I don't have to.
This one isn't. Apparently, it's not a Universal Monster film, but its remake is. But I thought, you know what? This one's free on YouTube. I'm going to give it a go. I haven't seen it before. Why not? It is a silent film. So if you are not into silent films, you will not like this. Lon Chaney as the Phantom, or his name is Eric. Now from 1925, the look of the Phantom is actually pretty haunting. I was watching it, I'm like, that's scary. That's actually
purple
pretty
suit,
freaky.
ring, little mask.
Well, no, like okay, he wears the Phantom mask, but when the mask comes off, shut up. Luke. When the mask comes off, no, his face is actually pretty frightening. Um, it's as I said before, it's a silent film. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to rush back because silent films aren't really my thing. I think I've only seen this and Nosferatu, the only two silent films I've ever seen. But yeah, hey, it's worth a shot. I mean, it's free on YouTube. It only goes for like an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, give it a go.
That's awesome. I always find older films fascinating and think back to them filming and how much work it would have been, like compared to what we have now, right? Like it's incredible. Has anyone else seen this, Scott? Have you seen it?
Nope, this is on my to watch list to like hopefully sometime this month because I want to try to knock out some like old school silent films this month.
Awesome.
Oh, there's like so many for free on YouTube, man.
Oh, I know. That's where I found a lot of them. So I was
good.
like, all right, I'm going to watch a bunch of them there at some point.
And no one's alive anymore to get mad for copyright. They're all dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I think they're all like royalty free now, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I think they are.
I watched The Golem on YouTube, and I felt like I totally only watched that so I could sound like an impressive podcaster.
Actually, you watched that on Shudder, which blew me away.
Was it on Shudder? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember. See, fucking too many movies, and that was all. I just care about prestige. Like I was all like, look at me. It's true. Like it's true. Scott's the nice one. Like I tell people this and they don't believe me. Did you guys want to add anything else? Is there any other older films you wanted to throw on?
I haven't seen shit.
Yeah, I've only like. I'm trying to think. You go ahead, Tim. I'm trying to think if I did watch anything.
Oh, okay. This might come as a shock to a lot of people, but in the vein of the Universal monsters, I watched for the first time Dracula from 1931.
How was it? I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing. I have seen this movie before, but not in full. I always kind of fall asleep. So this is my first time watching it in full. It's not my favorite of the Universal monster films.
It's very slow.
It does get, it is very slow. Bela Lugosi as Dracula is fucking phenomenal. When I think Dracula, that's who comes to mind. Bela Lugosi. He's just my Dracula. The film is really, really well shot. It's very gothic, and the set designs are incredible. And it's one of those things, Heather, that you were saying. Like I was watching this, and I'm like, how did they do all this for back in 1931? It's really, really cool. The film as a whole, it is very slow. The action scenes are very few and far between. But overall, I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite of the whole Universal monsters. But yeah, it's not my least favorite. Let's just say that.
Awesome. Well, I'll eventually watch these. Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
No, it's all right. It was just going to be a dumb joke.
I like dumb jokes, Daniel.
Okay. I said I was going to think of Leslie Nielsen when I think of Dracula.
Yes.
Dead and Loving It?
Dead and Loving It.
That was a funny movie.
That movie.
It's really, really funny. Mel Brooks, right? It's a Mel Brooks film.
Yep. Yeah, but that one doesn't get a lot of the love. Like it gets hated on a lot, and man, I freaking love it.
I don't know how you could hate on any Mel Brooks films. They're not. I don't know. Out of the ones I've seen, I enjoyed all of them. Blazing Saddles.
Young Frankenstein.
What's the one where they go to space and they make fun of Star Wars?
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Thank you.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Yeah, they're all funny. You know, you just gotta live a little.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your older films. Scott, unless you had something, I feel like I keep cutting you off.
I did. I forgot. I did watch one last night, and that was Insidious: The Last Key.
Oh, you finally finished it.
Yep, finally finished off the Insidious franchise, and yeah, this was like I remember people saying this one wasn't that good, and when I watched it, I was going, I don't see an issue with this one. I thought it was pretty interesting, like getting the backstory of Lynn Shay's character a little more, like from her childhood and going on, and then kind of like the twist that happens like partway through when you're finding out like about the ghost that she finds in her old house. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty entertaining one because the other Insidious movies, while I liked them, they were that typical boo and make you jump type movies.
It's true. It was like walking through a haunted house, didn't it?
Oh, it so was. I mean, they're good for that style of movie, but like they at the same time, I'm just going, all right, I want something a little more. And this one kind of gave a little more substance to it, and it wasn't just all jump scares, which is I'm all about. And yeah, I thought this one was yeah, a lot better than didn't deserve all the hate that it got.
Oh, interesting. Have you gentlemen seen the series?
I have. Yes, I've seen all of them. There are, talking about the first one, there are scenes in the movie that I like, but I really couldn't get behind the Darth Maul demon. It just took me out. But no, I enjoyed them for the most part. I'll admit the final one, what's it called, Scott? Sorry,
The Last Key.
The Last Key. I will need to rewatch it. I remember falling asleep first time I saw it, so I barely remember much about it. So I need to go back and rewatch it.
Just realized no one could see me shaking my head on the audio podcast.
That's okay. I shake my head all the time, Daniel. All the time. I'm like,
Didn't respond. I was
I'm
just
rubbing
like,
my nipples all the time, so it's okay.
right? We do a lot of stuff on this video. Like anyway, we won't get into that. We'll save that for later.
they're just ghost movies, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much like they're a little more.
I feel like Daniel just summed it up right there. They're just ghost movies, right? It's true.
They're pretty much what it is. Like they're a
good
little
ghost
more
movies, though. I think they're pretty good. Liz Shade's not the best actress, but I don't know. In that series, I just find her really entertaining.
I like Lee Whannell.
Yeah, Lee Whannell is really good, and yeah, like I do love the what do you call them? The bumbling ghost hunters.
Yeah,
I do like them throughout the series.
What are they called? Specs and something else.
Yes. Well, yeah. What was their freaking name? I think they're just called Spectres, is like the show they did or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, they just cracked me up, like, because I know some people just got annoyed by them, and I freaking loved them. I thought they were just like great little comic relief throughout the series.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for sharing. Our next segment is Question of the Week. Just kidding. That's Horror for Dummies.
Question of the Week.
Poor Tim's like, what the fuck? What's going on? I didn't give a question. I know. But we would have to do the awesome intro of Question of the Week. It's my favorite. It's my fave.
It's still that.
Question of the Week. Anyway.
I mean, I listen every week. Whatever.
Do you listen to your show? Do you actually go back and listen to your show? Oh.
Fuck no.
He has no idea what type of editing I do with the show.
Oh, dude, you need to listen. Tim is
I just remember
phenomenal.
Old days, from Benji days and Gel days.
Yeah, like you had other hosts. I didn't know you've been around that long.
You pretty much started just a little bit before I started.
Wow.
Like started listening if you listen to the quarantine episodes.
Yeah, that's when I started listening to you because Tim was so supportive. I'm like, shit, I better not be an asshole. Someone has to be the one and listen. So
yeah, I think we've only done like.
Oh, I've been listening forever. I'm the one that told you about it.
Were you? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not how that went down.
I'll say me and Tim have been friends forever.
We have.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm so mean to him. I don't know why we still do this podcast, Scott.
Because I love I'm a masochist and I love the abuse.
I'm so mean to you all the time. All right, so gentlemen, this is your segment for today. What we've been listening to, and you both are going to share a podcast. So I don't know, Tim, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm going to give some love to my my work colleagues. I guess I'll call them that. The Padded Room podcast. They can be found on the network that we are a part of. So the Padded Room podcast is another horror podcast, obviously, featuring the host Darian Brock, Buddy, and Miss Monica. And every week they review a movie, but they talk about it in walkthrough detail. Like they'll explain what happens in the movie and give their opinions and all that stuff. But the cool thing about the Padded Room podcast, and the reason why I became a big fan of their show, is they do this really cool thing called the Terror Dome, where every year they get it's basically like a bracket thing, but they do a matchup per week. So they have the horror icons, Pinhead, Freddy Krueger, and all that stuff, and they will battle them out. Darian usually writes a cool little story about how these two fighters came together and why they're fighting, and then the listeners vote each week about who's going to win, and it goes and continues up until the championship match. So they do that for the singles, and then they have the teams episode. So they have a bunch of teams. So, for example, the Gremlins, the Critters, the
Nice.
Predators.
Oh, you said
all
Gremlins.
these-
Scott's now fucking down to
I'm hard.
It's the only
No,
movie
but
he
yeah,
likes.
it's really cool. Oh, come on, Scott. I like Gremlins. Gremlins is a good movie. But no, they're a really cool show. I really enjoy it. They are not safe for work. They're very much like our show.
Did they say naughty words?
Naughty
Yeah,
words.
They do. They do. They get dirty, which I like. So, but no, give them a go. Padded Room Podcast. They can be found on the basically anywhere, just under the Padded Room Podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've listened to a few of their shows, and yeah, they are very entertaining, and they are great hosts.
The woman on there is fabulous. What's her name again? Meg?
Miss Monica.
Miss Monica? Yeah, I like her.
Yes,
She's really
yes.
cool. All right.
She sometimes
No, go ahead.
they do a live YouTube video, and she's not shy taking her shirt off. So,
Good for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her. She does whatever she wants with her titties. That's her call.
Yeah.
Right? I wish, Scott takes his shirt off too in our show too. And I
do.
have to keep explaining to him we're not Patreon or fans only. Or OnlyFans. Is it OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Right? Fuck, can't keep track of all the websites you have, Scott. What
can I say? Smoke show's got to make money somehow.
Mr. Loofy, what do you have for us?
Hey, well, I only really listen to one horror podcast.
You could be
And
video game if you want.
And it's kind of redundant because I'm
I mean,
on it.
I'll say we do feel honored that you listen to our shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just you guys. No, I ain't got nothing. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm
It's just
glad
you
that you
guys.
listened to the
I
quality show
guess-
that is Friday Nightmares.
Don't stop listening to this podcast.
Yay.
That means 2 listeners in Australia.
There you go.
Well, I need to cut that out of Daniel saying that, and then that's going to be our promo for our show.
Just listen to this podcast. I love it. That's amazing. All right, we're going to take a short break, but then we're going to come back and we're going to show how dumb Scott and I am about knowing about stuff in Australia, and we're going to go through some Aussie movie, mate, and see what these gentlemen have to say. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
This is Bo from LegionPodcasts.com. Hey, it's been a crazy time, and when the world gets nuts, we're happy to offer some old-fashioned podcast entertainment. But for some folks, getting a laugh out of a show isn't really helping these days. People who depend on tips in their bartending jobs or have been put on furlough with no pay till the worst of this coronavirus threat has passed. That's a tough spot. That's why we set up a GoFundMe for members of our community, a sort of grand-scale take a penny, leave a penny. For people like myself, for whom the recent disruptions haven't kicked us out of work, well, we can drop a few of those extra pennies in the GoFundMe jar. For those who are directly affected by recent events and find themselves looking for money to pay the electric bill or keep the water on, well, how about you give me a shout at B-O, at legionpodcasts.com. Let me know the situation and what you need, and we'll do our best to make life a little easier. And you can find links to the GoFundMe on the front page of legionpodcasts.com, on our Facebook group page, or on Twitter at Legion Podcasts, where it's the pinned tweet. For those of you who are able, thanks in advance for chipping in. And members of our community who need a hand, hey, here we are. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and we're all going to get through this together. Legion isn't just a name, it's who we are. Thanks for listening to all the shows here on Legion Podcasts, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Friday Nightmares with our 2 very smoking hot Australian guests. It's funny, the first interaction I ever had with someone from Australia was I used to work at the YMCA, and this dude came in and he had an accent. And like a stupid fucking Canadian, I'm like, "Are you from England?" And he's like, "No, I don't know why you thought that. I'm from Australia." And I said, "Why are you here?" And he was like, "Because I wanted to come to Canada to see the snow." And I was like, "But why? Why would you leave Australia?" And he's like, "Why do you come to Australia?" I'm like, "Valid point." So you always are fascinated by somewhere that's not near you. And I feel like with Australia, besides us all being part of the British Empire at one time, We have that in common from Canada, and not those stupid traders from the United States.
Yeah, I'll say we ran away. Haha.
Fucking United States. I thought I'd pull up some 10 facts about Australia that are cool, and then 12 stereotypes that every Australian hates, because I want to see Tim's head explode. And Daniel laugh. So the first one, I don't know if you guys are aware that the Australian Alps get more snow than the Swiss Alps.
I didn't know this.
I didn't know we had Australian Alps.
Well, Australia's really big, right? You guys have 4 different time zones.
Is that just the snowies?
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know. That's what it says. I'm just, look, guys, I'm going by
Have you ever
travel.
been skiing, Tim?
Yeah, I sucked at it.
Yeah, I did once. And I fucking hated it for school. It's fucking shit.
You know what, Daniel?
Skiing
You look
can
like you
fuck
would be a
off.
snowboarder. You totally look like with that
Maybe.
hair that you would be a snowboarder out on the Alps being like, hey, girls.
It's so true. You do have that snowboarder look.
Like, doesn't he?
Maybe.
I mean, like some 80s rom-com as
I
the,
just skate a little bit.
as a douche.
Yeah, he's in Hot Dog the movie.
Yeah, that's right. Hot
Well, I
dog.
pretty much just went up and then I pizzaed the whole way down and then that was it. Wouldn't
You
have
pizza
hot
instead of
chocolate.
French fried?
No, I pizzaed.
Gonna
It was
have a bad time.
complete pizza.
You
Do
pizza
not
instead
wanna
of
go
French fry,
fast
you're
at all.
gonna have a bad time.
South Park, so good.
Love it.
90% of Australians live on the coast. So, Tim, how's the sharks outside your window? Is that why you like Jaws so much?
Yeah, there's one staring at me right now.
But yeah,
Okay, do you know? Sorry, do you know why 90% of Australians live on the coast?
no.
Because no one goes to the fucking outback.
Here's a picture,
We'll
Tim.
get into that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I know. Because our country doesn't have the foresight to put infrastructure anywhere near the desert, so we could spread out more and actually have cheaper places to live. So our rent wasn't so fucking high. I don't know.
Real talk
I
here,
don't know.
folks.
Real talk. This is exciting. They're getting all mad. I love it. Tasmania has the cleanest air in the world. Come to Tasmania. Come to Tasmania.
It's good you can breathe real nice while you fuck your cousin.
They're all inbred down there. We don't associate with those people.
Also, there's a giant fucking hole in the ozone down there, and you just get fucking burnt. And I don't
Oh.
fucking burn. And I got
Wow.
so burnt when I went to Tasmania. Fuck
Wow.
Tasmania.
Fuck Tasmania. Sorry. Who listens from Tasmania? From the sounds of it, nobody. I don't even know if they have.
I mean, they
like,
have extra
podcasts
ears
there.
and shit, so they might be able to listen better, but
Wow.
I don't know.
This is amazing. All right. The Great Barrier Reef is the largest ecosystem in the world. Do you
I
guys
would
know
know
that?
I
That's
think
slowly
I
getting
heard that.
destroyed by fucking oil companies and Crown Thorns and shit.
Tell
you
us how you
been-
really feel, Daniel. I love this.
Have you been, Tim?
No.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful, man.
I
I
don't
like
leave the house.
legit. Yeah, it's
Too many
true.
dangerous animals here. If I step
I've been
outside my
snorkeling
house,
and
I'm
shit
gonna
there.
Like, he can't leave. There's a shark staring at him right now. He can't even leave his house.
He's got a land shark knocking on his door.
All the poisonous snakes have gathered around Tim's house
Yeah.
outside. And they're just slithering.
Drop bears everywhere.
Yeah, drop bears. Which, yeah, we'll have to talk about that later because I definitely want to bring that up because
Don't
that
you
is
fucking ruin
hilarious.
drop bears for us.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, so I can't wait to be educated.
Hey, good.
Oh, it's something fun. We'll definitely have to talk about it.
I like fun things. Australia has over 60 separate wine regions. Why the fuck am I not there?
Right?
Gentlemen,
Very true.
how have you been holding this out on me? Thought we were friends.
I don't drink.
Yeah, and I don't drink wine, so.
Did you just drink Foster's?
Oh.
I
I'd
wasn't
rather
even
drink
gonna go
my own
there.
piss.
Beefies.
Beefy. What is beefy? Is that a beer?
A sheaf stout.
Oh,
Oh, yuck.
stout is a beer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It was this disgusting beer.
This is Heather's
Drink-
first year
like, as a
drinking,
joke.
so
First year everything. It's been a big year for me.
it is.
Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world. You guys know where this is?
I've never been there, so I couldn't really say much about it.
Do you
I
ever leave
haven't
your
been
house,
there,
Tim?
but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'll go
lots of
10 minutes to
Shit
work.
there.
and then come
Yeah,
back.
see?
The Indian Pacific train has the longest straight track of train in the world. So I'm assuming this is the train that runs between Sydney and Perth. Is that correct? Have you guys ever been on the train?
Yeah, according to
We've been on
Travel
trains.
Nation. Yep.
Now, where do you guys live? You live near Sydney, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I live about an hour outside of Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay. So give or take, that's
Sydney
this is a simple North American audience, guys. We need to be really simplify, okay?
It's all Sydney.
They just picture
Australia is
Sydney,
just
right?
Sydney and Melbourne.
Like, they just found out there's a train that's super long, and I was like, whoa, fucking hold up.
Honestly, okay, if I wanted to go to Perth, I'm not going to catch a
Why?
train. Fuck
You would
that.
fly, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In saying that, I'm not going to go.
I don't think
Perth.
anyone would want to go to Perth.
Yeah.
The only times people ever go to Perth is for work.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's
Or if
wrong
you're
with
fucking
Perth?
working in mines or something.
Is
it
There's
not
pretty?
nothing wrong with Perth. It's just there's nothing over there. It's just
There's nothing
yeah,
there.
Yeah. It's like I've never heard anyone say, "Hey, I'm going on holiday. I'm going to go to Perth."
Yeah, let's go to
Holiday.
Perth.
Why?
Going
Yeah,
on
so
holiday.
it's- So it kind of sounds like, Heather, when you come to visit me, there's like nothing out here, so we got to
Oh, yeah.
drive an hour to something fun.
That's
Scott,
true.
we get this thing called like fucking holidays. So we get like 4 weeks a year paid.
They
Oh,
don't
wow.
get
Do whatever we
that
want.
there. They don't
I
get
know,
time
so-
off.
I
Yeah,
know,
what is time off? Like American holiday is, we're going, oh, Merry Christmas, you get a day off. Oh, Happy Easter, you get a day off.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, we
Halloween,
get
yeah, you're working. Oh, every other
Guaranteed.
holiday you're working.
legally work has to give us, if we're full time, 4 weeks paid vacation a year.
Wow, yeah, I'm just this year getting 2 weeks paid vacation, and I've been working with the company for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Like, and most
You
companies
guys-
in the U.S. don't even give paid vacations.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
What?
Yeah, you
No,
gotta
but you
get it.
guys are just a role model. You know, it's the greatest country in the world.
Oh, make America great again. Trump 2020, baby. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Shoot me now.
Shoot me. And there's lots of guns, so there's an option for that.
You're right. I was gonna say I'll be
Um,
shot by tomorrow, probably.
Probably, right? The Great Ocean Road is the world's largest war memorial. Have you guys been to the Great Ocean Road?
I've been on the Great Ocean Road.
Tim,
I
you
don't
haven't,
know.
have you? You don't leave your house.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't look at street signs. I don't know.
It's not a fucking, it's a giant fucking highway.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love it. 80% of the animals are unique to Australia. So are the hot men. But do you guys know that?
I agree with that.
Because I don't think, well, we have kangaroos here and zoos and shit and koalas, but there's probably stuff you guys have that would never survive in our ecosystem.
Yeah, like drop bears.
Drop it.
It's
The drop bear.
We'll tell you here shortly when we get to
something you gotta
stereotypes.
watch out for.
Okay. I heard kangaroos are like rodents there, like they're a nuisance.
They are.
It depends where you live.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Kangaroos aren't just hopping
Big
along
old-
the street where we are. They are like in the bush areas, and they do. Farmers and stuff do shoot them because they do ruin livestock, not livestock, like crops and fences and stuff like that. So farmers do shoot them just because they are a pest.
I got a question too, because I know like it's because they're kind of like deer to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just very plentiful. Do you guys have like a kangaroo hunting season like we have deer hunting season?
Not really a
We don't-
season, no.
We don't really, like, hunting's not a massive thing here, unless you're, like, country.
Yeah, I didn't think it
Which-
probably would be. It seems like it's totally a North American thing.
Yeah, you don't really have a season. You just fucking shoot at shit whenever you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we have like, because I think deer hunting or bow hunting season started yesterday here. And then I think come November is when it actually becomes like regular deer hunting season where you can have like guns and stuff.
Yeah.
and go out and
Well, you
hunt.
guys have people hunting season all year round.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just we don't even celebrate that because it just happens. It's just part of
It's
it's a way of
just
life.
their schools.
It's just
Oh, it's so true. Not this year though. Hey, I can say this year school shootings have been down.
They have been. That's true. Good
Is it
point.
count
We
if
don't
someone
know
gets
one's in
shot at
school.
home?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
so sad.
So dark
In
and
Zoom
so scarily
shootings?
true. Zoom shootings. Oh my god.
This will be the best year in the world for
going to hell. That's what's
Oh my-
happening right now.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I can say this town properly. 2.5 kilometers. I like how we use kilometers, not fucking miles.
It's miles, people.
Way easier to work out things in
Urla
miles.
Uluru.
Pronounced
Uluru?
Oh, you trying to say Uluru?
is yeah. I don't know how to say it. Is underground? Is this a city?
No,
Nah, bro. Scroll down a
Uluru.
Scroll down.
Uluru's a big fucking rock. Sorry.
Oh,
That one.
oh, is this an outback?
This is where in the movie Outback. This is where
That's where they were going to.
Oh,
So
sounds really
Uluru is
lackluster.
the indigenous name for that rock.
I like how you used indigenous. Congratulations, Daniel.
I really wish Americans would start using that because it sounds so much better than.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be Native American in the States, isn't it?
It's supposed to, but I just don't like the sound of that. Indigenous sounds so much better.
It does, because
It's kind of a catch-all for any First Nation people, really.
Yeah.
it really is. All right, 12 stereotypes that every Australian hates.
Big
All
one.
right.
Ready
Let's
for
get to
this?
this fun shit.
So this is on culturaltrip.ca. Deadly animals. So basically that you're going to die in Australia. Do you guys hate this?
I don't hate it, but
It's true. Like there
To
are
an
deadly
extent.
animals here.
Yeah, but it's not like you go outside
But
your
not in the
door
city.
and, hey, boom, there's a dingo looking at you.
Yeah, but like you also fucking know, like, oh, there's a redback. Don't go near it. Or that's a
Yeah.
funnel web hole.
Yeah.
Or like just, you know, if you
Okay,
live somewhere
was
where
the-
that stuff is, check for snakes and check for shit like that.
When was the last time you saw a funnel web spider?
Funnel web? Oh, not since I was a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And I was
not-
going to say, I know one spider that's in Australia. I'm not sure if it's poisonous or not, but it's the huntsman.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
they're
seen them.
fine.
Are they just kind of like
They're-
just a nuisance more than dangerous?
Yeah, they won't even bite you. They just they probably
you fuck with
cause. What was the It was like a weird statistic where they like cause so many accidents a year, and that's how they kill people.
yeah, because they get in everywhere, and you'll just find them sitting on your lap. There was a time when you and me were driving. I was driving because I don't know, lazy, and we were driving along the highway just talking, and I felt something on my lap. Do you remember this?
I think so. And you
And I-
fucking pulled over, right?
I
Was
looked
it
down.
Daniel's
There's a
hand?
huntsman. No, I'd be alright with that.
It would have been.
You can go skiing whenever you want. No, but I put my hand down. There's a huntsman spider on my lap. So I smashed the car like into the turn bay and got out. There's two big bearded guys outside a car just running around the car trying to get this huntsman.
Because
Trying to get this
huntsmans
fucking
are.
huntsman off.
I'll say, how big
Yeah.
was it? Because I know huntsmans can get pretty freaking big.
This one was tiny.
Oh, okay.
They can get like that big.
Yeah, they can get
No,
freaking
they can
huge.
get the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah, because
Most
I've
of
seen
them I
pictures
see
of
is
them and I'm going,
like that
holy
big,
hell.
though.
Like an American dinner plate or the rest of the world dinner plate?
American dinner plates like this.
Yeah. It's like the size of a football stadium because they also measure things in football stadiums.
It's so true.
Um,
But yeah, I like huntsman. It means that like there's less flies and shit.
Yeah,
Personally,
fuck flies.
That's
know,
kind of
okay.
like us with our wolf spider.
flies are the fucking worst bug here.
Yeah, flies are and mosquitoes. I bet. Do you guys have mosquitoes? Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Me
one
curious.
thing about Outback. When I was watching it, I'm like, where are the fucking flies? They would be covered
Yeah.
in flies.
That's true.
Mm.
I will say,
Anyway.
okay, everyone always says Australia like snakes and crocodiles and stuff. There is an animal that is so much worse than all of those put together. It's called a magpie, and it's a bird.
I remember you
Very
going off
deadly.
on a rant about this.
Fucking
Fucking
swoopy
magpies.
boys.
So magpies are birds, and in spring, they obviously they nest and everything. And if you come near where their nest is, they will swoop you, and they will chase you down the road and continue to swoop at you and like hit your neck, and it hurts. And
Yeah.
the worst part is you look like a dickhead running down the road screaming, trying to get away from this fucking bird.
Yeah, you'll be just like riding your bike along or some shit, and then
It's like a real version of the movie The Birds.
You'll just feel
Yes.
like this on your head, and then you're like, fuck, and then you have to just like pedal, because you know, like they're not gonna stop fucking swooping at you till you leave. So you just try and get the fucking far away as you can.
Sounds like Canadian geese.
Yeah.
Like like kids will go out with like ice cream helmets and shit.
Oh, wow.
Ice cream helmets?
Yeah, like the tubs of ice cream, and then they'll put it, like they'll empty it out and put it on their head.
Oh, that sounds really ghetto. Oh my God.
Speaking about this, no
Go.
word of a lie. I think it was Wednesday. I had the day off. I took the wife and the kids to get ice cream, and this little van that does ice cream. And I got the ice cream, and a bunch of seagulls attacked me trying to get my ice cream.
Holy crap.
Fuckers.
So I punched one.
Did you?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
they kept coming. It's scary. It's honestly like The Birds, the movie.
Dude, when I was in Canada, I was at, I don't know, some markets or some shit down there. Your fucking seagulls are huge.
Yeah, they are. They eat well in
And
Canada.
I had
Socialist seagulls.
I had this whole fucking slice of pizza, man. And I was so excited. And it just took the whole cunt.
Yeah, it did.
And I was so sad.
Yeah, they're assholes. Them and
So
Canadian
sad.
geese, and we'll get into Canadian geese later, but they're motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, I was told
Yeah.
to like.
You don't
not
fuck
go
with
anywhere near the
Canadian geese. Like,
I
they'll
was
be
like,
like, come at me, bro.
Even the American seagulls are like freaking just like a nuisance. Like when I went up north to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, they're everywhere, like especially like in touristy areas. And if there is a restaurant, oh, those fuckers are just swooping down, just like trying to grab everybody's food, and they're all freaking huge too, and they're just shitting on everything as they're flying around. It's oh my god.
Well, I'm
You're
really
a
glad
happy
we went
little
on this
Vegemite
rant about
too.
animals. I feel like you proved our point. Type. There's annoying animals in Australia. Maybe not deadly, but they're annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you got to be pretty stupid to get bit.
Or
Like,
cats.
there's so much warning stuff up.
Challenge
Even
accepted.
for tourists and stuff.
Just
Look,
avoid the drop bears.
Here's
And the
yeah,
and the magpies.
Magpies.
magpie.
and just-
Magpies.
Well, actually, and since we are on the deadly animals, I guess we could kind of talk about the drop bears for Heather.
We can wait. We can wait. I can wait for
You
drop
wait?
bears. Unless you guys really want to. I'm assuming they're in a movie. That's why
Nope.
we're going to talk about them.
No.
They're not in the movie. No, this is like just something
It's a
that
real thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll say. Well,
Fucking ruin it, Scott.
this is something that they tell tourists, like they're supposed to be very vicious koala
That
bears.
we
that drop
warn
from the
tourists
trees.
about.
It's not real.
It's
You know
very
what?
real.
I totally would buy that and be like, oh my God, there's drop bears everywhere. Like,
And the images that are shared online look so freaking frightening. But
Just,
they're like,
you walk around and you look up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "I'm just checking for drop bears."
You should have told us that. You should have waited till we came and then convinced me that there were drop bears.
I know.
No, I'm
I
pretty
should- I
gullible.
should
We
have, like,
probably.
I was like, because I knew about it for a couple years now. I should have kept it quiet for when we do go visit, just to mess with you.
You're right, and I would totally fucking buy into it the entire time. I'd be talking to other Australians like, "How do you handle all these drop bears everywhere?" They'd be like,
Dude,
"Oh, he's dumb."
everyone, it's so good because like everyone's in on it. Everyone will roll with it. Everyone knows what it is.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, internet, for spoiling me on that and ruin it if I ever come over.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. We'll trick you about something else, Scott. Don't worry.
That's
Pretty
true.
simple.
I
There's
am
other
American
shit.
and gullible.
It's true. It's true. So, Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea. Do you come from a land down under? So, is this true? You guys
No.
eat Vegemite all the time?
Do you eat Vegemite at all, Tim?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you the last time I ate Vegemite. My kids eat
Really?
it pretty much every morning, but not. Never have it for tea, and never have it for lunch.
Do you have
No,
tea? Do you have tea
I'm
time every
happy.
day?
No, like dinner time. Is that the same thing?
I just assume you guys have tea time at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, that's more of a British thing, isn't it?
Aren't
I
you guys
think
the same
so.
thing though?
Yeah.
We
Just
look
kidding.
after our teeth.
You look after your teeth. You guys were the island of criminals that got all shipped there, and you were like, "Yeah, great. I don't
That's
want to be
right.
near you guys fucking anyway. This is way better than Britain." All right, riding kangaroos. Someone
I say we
actually
ride
thinks you
kangaroos.
guys ride kangaroos.
I don't. Has anyone actually ever ridden a kangaroo?
Yeah, you ride them to
is
school.
is it actually possible?
I don't. They don't look like you could.
I
ride
think you could. I don't know. The big reds.
Like I've seen
Uh,
some massive male ones that maybe, but they'd probably kill you before they'd let you ride them.
Oh yeah, they kill you.
They will fuck you up.
Yeah,
They're-
they get
yeah,
up on
I'd-
their
I'd rather-
fucking tail and they'll fucking kick you to death.
Yeah, I'd rather come face to face with a shark than a big
Yeah.
kangaroo.
Yeah, I think
I've seen,
kangaroos
like,
are scarier, to be honest with you.
I seen like, I swear I seen, it was almost like an image out of a horror movie, but it was like on a YouTube video, but it was someone's house and it was this fucking beefy male kangaroo standing outside his glass door, and like he's seeing his reflection and he's just jumping right into the reflection and like smashing into it, and he's scraping the glass with the claws and going, dear God, this thing looks like freaking monster from a horror film. It doesn't even look like a kangaroo.
Yeah, they can get big.
Was there a video where it was like one of the big reds was like attacking somebody's dog and the dude went and punched it?
Yeah, I
my
love that
God.
video. The dude straight up just punched it and the kangaroo's just like, huh? What the hell?
So,
All right, fine, I'll leave.
so fucking brave, man. I would fucking do that. I'll be like, sorry.
Australia's known for punching animals. I mean, there was that surfer that punched a great white shark.
Yep, I heard about
Oh, yeah.
that.
Well, you
Yeah.
punched a seagull. Like this is a theme.
Yeah, but the seagull took my ice cream. He
Yeah, but I'm
deserved
just
it.
saying, you guys don't fuck around. You C words don't fuck
Yeah.
around for our North American audience.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Oh,
okay.
you
You
guys-
guys can say it. We
Okay.
don't want to lose our listeners because we say
Okay, cool.
it. But yeah, I don't know. You guys are just violent. You don't need guns.
Yeah.
You just have a fist.
Yeah, we'll
Hey, just go
fucking
around
smash
punching
cunts.
everybody.
Just punch things because you're all convicts. Because apparently that's another stereotype that you guys hate.
Mhm.
And we already
I don't-
talked
I don't
about
hate
that. But
that.
you guys also have a lot of migrants from Europe and Asia.
That is true.
right?
Yeah. That's why you get dirty mud bloods like me.
Dirty blood. A muggle. He's a muggle over here. Australia is one big desert.
Most of it is.
I have never ever been to the Australian desert, and I've lived here my whole life. I've never left Australia.
I'm convinced you don't leave your house though, Tim. Like I don't. I don't think you've gone many places. You just go to get ice cream and punch seagulls and come home.
That's me on a daily basis. Yeah.
Been to pretty rural Queensland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like up kind of inwards a bit more. So it gets pretty deserty out there. Not the proper desert, but I've been fucking out bush and shit.
Like, have you been to where the Outback film is?
I've been to places that look pretty fucking similar.
Okay.
But have you been?
But not quite the desert.
Okay.
Not Uluru. Nah, never. I haven't been to NT.
Oh, okay. Okay. So next one, I'm not going to say this right, so I'm going to get one of you guys to say it. Is it
Uncouth?
Uncouth.
Uncouth? Couth?
Uncouth.
Yep.
So what is this? I don't even know what this is. What does this mean?
One of
Like,
the
that
reasons
means
why I hate
Rude.
Australia.
Oh, rude. Oh, that's
It's,
true.
it's why we fucking swear
But
and
that's horror for
talk
dummies.
rough. See, Tim doesn't think of himself like that.
Doesn't he? Oh. Okay.
I hate the Australian image of and this is one of the reasons why I don't like Australian horror movies or Australian movies, because we're always looked at as like bogans, which is like rednecks to you guys.
Yeah, too bloody right.
Yeah.
I don't
Bogans,
know.
I like
I
that.
don't think you're a redneck. You don't leave your house enough to be a redneck.
Jeez.
Like the people from Tasmania, though, they sound like rednecks.
They are beyond rednecks.
Yeah, they sound like Alabamans.
They sound like real people from The Hills Have Eyes and Wrong Turn.
Yeah, right?
That's what they sound like.
That's what they look like too.
Fucking
And,
come at us, Hobart.
You guys can't see our article here, but if you go to our show notes, you can see surfers, and we actually see either, I think it's Daniel surfing in this picture here. Apparently another
Oh, and
stereotype-
there's Tim Swoon punching a shark.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
Tim punching the shark.
Fuck that shark. You took my ice cream.
I don't know. Apparently people think you guys all surf, which is, I guess, fair because you live near the ocean.
I used to
Do I
boogie
look
board.
like someone that looks like he wants to surf?
You don't look like someone that even like goes outside.
He's like,
That's why-
Yes.
Did you ever go to the beach much?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I spearfish a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm always at the beach.
You telling me you didn't have one of those like hella cheap ass boogie boards with the fucking strap and shit?
Maybe as a kid. I've never been
Yeah,
really
there you
into surfing.
go.
I like looking at the marine life.
That's not
And the
surfing.
chicks on
though.
the
It's just
beach.
like fucking boogie boarding.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, do you guys call it something different, or is it?
no,
the same?
boogie boarding's right.
Yep,
Yeah,
boogie boarding,
okay,
then surfboarding. If there's, and we got knee
Yeah.
boarding as well.
You can't surf in Michigan because the lake's just sludge.
Hey, nah, that's not true. We got some of the greatest lakes out here. So you
Beaches.
shush.
Sure you do.
The beaches are
Like,
fun. You just got to follow the rules if you don't know them very well,
That's
because
fair.
there's lots of rips and stuff. So it's like,
Rips.
yeah. Do you guys know what they are?
Yeah, I just thought of the other term of rips, that's all. Daniel liked that. He's laughing. So you've surfed before, Daniel? Have you ever run into a shark? Have you ever?
Never
Okay, have you guys
surfed.
ever been swimming and run into a shark or jellyfish?
Sharks? No. Jellyfish, yeah.
Yep, Heather got stung by one before.
I sure did.
You see him on the beach more than anything.
The dead ones, right?
Yeah.
I guess they're not suntanning, right? And going back in the ocean. What a
But
stupid comment.
you still got to be careful with like blue bottles and stuff when they're on the beach.
Yep, I am like a little baby. I've only been to the ocean when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I haven't been since.
Yeah,
It's
Scott
fun. It's
doesn't get around
wet,
much.
sandy.
Yeah, it's
I've
wet.
seen-
You like
I've
things
come
that are wet.
across-
What was that, Tim?
I've come across a few sharks.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I like to go spearfishing. Nothing like, I think the most dangerous one I've come across was a blue shark, and it was fine. It looked at me and kept swimming.
Didn't
I'd say most of them
You guys
probably
see a
do just
wobbegong
kinda
as
keep
well?
swimming.
Sorry, what was that?
didn't you guys see a wobbegong as well?
Yes, but they're unless you really go and mess with them, unless you stick
No, they're chill.
like a finger. Yeah, don't stick your finger up their ass, and you'll be fine.
Scott, did you hear that?
Damn it. All right. You guys will have to remind me when we come and visit, because I may forget that and try to stick my finger up its ass.
Yeah, don't.
Scott will be like, you like it.
Oh, it's pissed off now.
When you saw the shark, Tim, did you just go, look, Jaws is my favorite movie? And they were like, fucking cool, dude. I didn't realize that you were like that.
I'll admit, like the first time I saw like the blue shark, I shit myself.
I would do.
Didn't realize I was
So
too far
pretty.
away from shore, so I just stayed calm, kept my eye on it, kept my spear near it, and it just left me alone.
Yeah, it probably would. Sharks, well, we did a shark episode. They're actually not.
Yeah,
Don't
aggressive
look like a
creatures.
seal.
Yeah, don't look like hell. Starts flapping around in the water. My dream of Jaws is coming true. Shrimp on the Barbie is the other one because of Crocodile Dundee. I feel like you guys hate that. I feel like y'all hate Crocodile Dundee.
We do not call them shrimp here. They're
Oh, no?
called,
Cunt.
Prawns.
call them prawns.
Prawns.
Stop saying the C word.
You can
Why?
Well,
say
you
it.
guys say it
I
all the
always say
time.
the C
Fine.
word.
You're Australian.
Why would I be any different?
Look, you're also racist according to this. So
Only
Okay, I'm
against
not gonna
brown
lie.
cunts.
I'm
so
not
you
gonna
guys are.
lie, we are.
Yeah,
I thought you said you
definitely.
weren't a racist. You've gone on
No,
all
not-
your
not-
episodes.
Oh no, I
Not
like
me, not
were
us
personally not,
But
but
you
as
go
a
in-
country, yeah.
like you saw, we'll talk about it later in the movie Two Heads Creek. You heard a lot of what those characters were saying, and that is kind of true. A lot of the rural areas, people do speak like that.
Yep.
Which makes, and I know you guys aren't racist, obviously. Just so we're clear to all our listeners, we do not think Horror for Dummies is racist. But I like how the state here is comfortably racist.
It's
Yeah.
well, it's like no, it that's a good description because it's not crazily overt. It's just like it's really subtle.
Interesting. Well, you know what? It's just as here in North America.
Yeah.
Like, don't, like, the United States has it, but so does Canada. Like, I love when Canadians like, oh, we don't have that problem. Like, yeah, we do, motherfucker. We got KKK hanging out. Like, we have those
Well,
problems here,
and you,
too,
and you
right?
get and like the indigenous population gets treated poorly up there.
Oh, beyond poorly. Right,
We're
it's-
so
it's
nice to
insane.
ours too.
Yeah, you guys are great over there too. We're all just doing a great job banging up
Yeah,
all
even
around
Amer-
white people across the world.
Yep, even U.S. treats them well.
Oh yeah,
No.
for sure. For sure. Foster's beer. You know how much Tim loves that. Apparently, I didn't really know about Foster's beer until recently.
Really?
that like
Sad.
the
Like,
most
you never seen
popular
the
beer?
commercials?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
like, yeah.
okay. Luffy doesn't drink, so I'll take this one. I don't know a single pub or place of drinking, waterhole, whatever you want to call it, that serves Foster's beer here in Australia.
Nowhere.
No one
Nowhere.
likes it. It tastes like piss. I don't know where that came from. I don't know a single Australian that likes Foster's.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
this
how
is
you
like
tell when there's a tourist, right? They order Foster's beer.
Probably.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
like there's beers for each state kind
Yeah.
of thing here. Like
Really?
Victorians drink VB. We tend to drink like Tuies or stuff like that. I reckon. You reckon 2X is for us? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Queensland drinks fucking 4X.
4X, yeah. Which also tastes like piss.
Yeah, it's just fucking gross.
So
Yeah, I
American
was-
beer.
Yeah, I'll say of like Foster's is pretty much like the Budweiser's here,
Mm.
and
Really?
But no,
Okay.
yeah, Budweiser is just watered down cat piss.
Okay.
It's just terrible. That's why like the craft beers have become very popular in the U.S. because they're actually good.
Yeah.
Actually have flavors, and but no, I do remember ever since I was a little kid, Heather, like they would constantly there'd be commercials for Foster's beer, and it would always be like some weird commercial where it's like how to speak Australian, and it would have just like some weird term, and then each commercial was just so dumb and just made Australia look dumb. It was ridiculous.
That's
And-
interesting.
Then it got mocked in the movie Basketball. You know, the guys Trey Parker
Oh
and Matt
yeah.
Stone.
Yeah.
And instead of Australian, it was like how to speak San Franciscan. Bojoina, and shows the guy's ass.
Oh my god, that's pretty funny. I love it. Always hot, which I totally buy into.
They have
I
winter
always
just like
hot.
us.
It was fucking hot today.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
What was the heat?
Today was almost 30 degrees.
See, I love that you talk like
Celsius.
that.
What's that in Fahrenheit?
I
No one
looked it up.
cares.
It's like I think it's like
4,000.
75.
I don't know how to do the math
75?
sometimes. Shit.
Actually, no, I think 30 might be 90. Let
There
me
you go.
double check.
It's ridiculous.
We are now in spring at the moment. So it's starting to get warmer. Summer for
86
us
degrees.
is okay. Fuck. Summer for us is usually bullshit, and I fucking hate it. Being a
I
big
reckon
guy,
we're gonna get hit like fucking 40s most days.
definitely.
It's gonna be
This-
so fucking dry this summer.
this spring has just started. Like when was it? Start of September, and it's already really bad. So summer's gonna be a lot of fun.
He's gonna have to put all this fucking suntan and shit on his head.
I
But yeah,
know.
I'll say because you
I
guys.
don't know if you can notice, but you can see my hat tan right there. 'cause
I can see
wear a
your hat
backwards
tan.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
trying to look
Yep,
at
I
your
can see it.
hairline.
Hey, don't. I feel you, Tim. I feel you.
It's so reflective.
Here, let's blind them both, Tim.
Yeah.
Ah, Purple,
Like your
save me.
superpowers, like you blind people with your bald spots. Oh my god.
But yeah, I was gonna say too. Like, you guys have pretty good winters too, though, with snow and everything, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just hot desert all the time, like it's stereotypical, like everybody here thinks.
Our winters don't get that cold, man. I don't reckon. Not compared to other places.
Yeah, nothing like Canada or anything like that.
Nah.
And
But
that's like the
look,
stereotypical Canada thing too.
I was over there in like their spring and it was like our winter, for sure.
Like when you
Wow.
went to Vancouver, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, the climate's going to be different in
cold?
Vancouver.
yeah. It snows
Well,
there. I
it's
think.
just it snows, but it also gets hotter and it has a rainforest there and stuff too, right?
Mm.
It's a different climate based for where it's located. I'm all like me. Take over.
Sorry.
we'll, wait,
No.
we'll wait till the Out of the Dark segment when we get to
I
hear
know.
our stereotypes.
Yeah, we know what yours are, Scott.
Yeah, well, mine
Fit
mine
and
are pretty
tanned
easy.
is one of the other ones that Scott is, and as well as Australians.
Oh.
If you think every Australian looks like a home and away extra, then you're mistaken. What a stupid comment. Like
Nah,
everyone thinks they
there's
look like a
ugly
pictures
cunts
of me.
too.
Look at pictures of me and Luffy.
Oh, I know. You guys are hot. I don't know.
I mean, I got a boner just
No.
looking at you guys right now.
No tan.
no tan. Well, definitely Tim has no tan. He doesn't leave the house only to fight seagulls and,
Yep.
and if they occasionally go fishing. But yeah. Anyway,
Fish
those are some
seagulls.
stereotypes. So now that we've covered all those excellent stereotypes, let's see how they've been put into film. So Scotty will lead us off with the first film. So I'll get down to it, Scotty. Sorry.
All right, get down to
Unless-
yeah. I
Do you have
can't
it on
use
your
my.
phone?
I was going to, but the sun is reflecting off the screen and making Dexter go crazy, so I gotta
Oh,
stay away
You're
from
so
it.
annoying.
I know, right?
Okay. There's always something with you, Scotty.
It's always difficult. Gotta deal with it.
Oh, jeez.
I know, right? God, you guys see what I have to work with?
Oh, it's
Fuck.
terrible. Tough shit.
Word. All right, take us away, Scotty.
All right. So the first movie we are going to jump into that is featuring Australian horror is Blackwater from 2007. Blackwater is an Australian horror film written and directed by Andrew Trocchi and David Nerlich. The film and international co-production of Australia and the United Kingdom is set in the mangrove swamps of northern Australia and stars Diana Glenn, Maeve Dermody, and Andy Rodererda. Inspired by a true story of crocodile attack in Australia's Northern Territory in December of 2003. While on vacation in Northern Australia, Gracie, her husband Adam, and her younger sister Lee decide to take the Blackwater Berry Tour in the swamp for fishing. Their guide Jim uses a small motorboat and takes the tourists along the river to a remote spot. When they stop, they are attacked by a huge crocodile that capsizes their boat. The survivors climb a tree when they realize that help would not come to rescue them, they decide to try and find a way out of their sheltered location. However, in the muddied water, their boat is flipped and the crocodile is stalking them, hiding amongst the brush.
Actually, it's called a dinghy.
I was like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Here we go already.
Here we go. So is this a thing with other Australian? Like, I feel like they're already Australian. And they're like, we're going to go on holiday. And we're going to go look for crocodiles. Like, is that even a thing that Australians do?
Yeah, some Australians. Not
Really?
Tim.
Not Tim. Poor Tim. We just keep making fun of Tim. So, like, when I never got with this film, like, first of all, it's okay. You know, I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
But I found it really, like, kind of dragged its heels. And I don't believe that a crocodile would stalk people for that long.
Nah.
Unless it's territorial, right? Like, is that the only case that it would be doing that?
As I said before with sharks, how they leave you alone. As the same with crocodiles. They're not like in this movie. There's a lot in this movie that doesn't make sense and is not realistic. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt that this is all fabricated for a movie. A lot of what the crocodile does is not realistic.
Yeah, because...
So give us some examples, Tim.
Okay, for example, one of the reasons that this movie annoyed me is... Are we doing spoilers? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
spoilers for all these movies.
Spoiling these movies, in case you didn't know from listening to our other podcasts.
Okay, so there was a girl who was attacked twice by the large saltwater crocodile. And this is a big saltwater crocodile.
She would not have been able to get away from that.
She's attacked around the midsection, yet she only has 2 puncture wounds, and she can swim and walk perfectly fine. Yet her sister, who was also attacked and bitten on the leg, dies of blood loss. Yeah. Now, I'm not Steve Irwin, and not every Australian is a crocodile hunter and knows everything about crocodiles.
Just half of us.
From what I'm led to believe, once a crocodile grabs you, it pulls you into a death roll, which would rip off your limbs and possibly drown you. Now, I've also searched up the fact that the bite force of a saltwater crocodile is 16,460 newtons. Humans chewing a steak is roughly around 890 newtons. Yeah. Hyenas, lions, and tigers generate 4,450 newtons. So, to show how much the bite force that the crocodile has, apparently it's second only to the T-Rex.
Yeah,
so
because crocodiles are pretty much dinosaurs.
Exactly. So the fact
that T-Rexes are fictional because they were made up by Jesus or something.
So the fact that this woman gets bitten around the midsection yet only has 2 puncture marks and is perfectly capable to walk and cry and call out is completely unbelievable and nothing that a crocodile would actually do.
Well, she would go into shock, right? Like, she would have gone into shock.
Definitely.
And plus she's in dirty water. Like...
Look, I'm sorry, her spine would have been snapped because the salt water would have put her into the death roll.
Yeah,
and she'd be dead from...
If you don't know what a death roll is, basically how a crocodile is going to attack you is they're going to clamp on you like a vice, and then they're just going to fucking spin. And what that'll do is break bones and hopefully tear a chunk off you.
And I believe also drown you
wound
too.
you enough. Yeah, which will wound you enough so they can like eventually just come back for you later.
That's usually what I do with dudes at the bar.
Go on, Scott. You were going to say something?
But no, I was going to say, did they even show it doing a death roll at all in this one? Because I don't think it did. No, because that's what I was waiting for. Because I know that because I watched a lot of nature documentaries, so I know crocodiles do that, and I was waiting for that. And they never did show that. And with the puncture wound in the midsection, that is your stomach. And one thing I know is when you get like stabbed or shot in the stomach, that is a long, drawn-out death. And with the puncture and the pressure that this thing would have put on her, yeah, she would have died faster than the woman that died from the leg bite.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also didn't get the ear when that floated up. I'm like, if a croc bit your head, it would have just eaten your whole head.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take off little bits and pieces and shred you. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah. Also, a crocodile doesn't flip your boat over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how realistic is that?
You can hit a crocodile with your boat, like because they just look like little logs in the water.
Right.
All you really see is the little eyes come up, but they won't. If you hit them, they're not going to come back at you. They won't try and flip your boat. The most dangerous spot is like if you're in near the water, because they'll run out.
Yeah. And in saying this, like where we live, there's no crocodiles near us at all. They're in other states. You have to go
At
to the
zoo.
top of Australia. Oh, the zoo. That doesn't cares about the zoo. And look, I've never seen a crocodile in the wild, and I don't think
I have.
Luffy has.
No,
Have you really?
Yeah, we were like taking what was it, the Murray, the Georges, whatever the fucking river is in Queensland. We took a dinghy up there, and they'd be like chilling on the bank, like sunbaking and shit.
Oh, okay.
And then they'd like scurry into the water when they heard the motor.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause they're scared.
That's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing I did appreciate was I've been to an alligator conservation area, and alligators can swim out of the water and jump, like they can do that. So that was accurate. I just feel like they did try to simulate that they went far away, they were going on vacation. I just don't think Australians are going to be like, you know what we should fucking do? Go fishing and look for crocs. Or like, I just don't think that that's a thing that, like, it wouldn't be like, I'd be like, you know what I'm going to do? Go moose hunting. And I'm going to go look for mooses. Like, it's just not something that I would do as a Canadian. And for me to go find mooses, it's about a 2.5 hour drive up north, and I could run into some. But like, I don't know. I just feel like this just continues to stereotype animals and shit and makes them like into these crazy stalkers. And I guess unless it was territorial, that's the only thing I could think of, is that it was territorial and it was defending its ground. But I found, like, in general, I found the movie long, and I didn't even care what happened to the characters. Like, they weren't bad or anything, but I didn't fucking give a shit.
Yeah,
like, I thought they were all gonna die, and then they didn't, and I was like, oh, okay.
And what is it with the woman always being pregnant in films like this?
Oh my god, always fucking
How did
pregnant.
her sister know she was pregnant?
Because she didn't drink when they were at the bar. That's the only way.
Oh.
Like, that's the only thing I could assume how she knew.
I'll say the bar was pretty fucking accurate.
The bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the bar looked pretty fucking standard for Australia.
Yeah, like this one, like I felt there was just like a lot of stereotypes in this, and then once again, it's one of those inspired by a true story. Like, I don't know how true this is or not. Just like our Outback movie that we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, every second Australian film is based on true events.
Right, because no one goes there, so no one believes. So no one will like, at least in America, no one goes
You
there.
can just
so
make
they're
up shit.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So when this movie came out in Australia, did it make a theatrical release? Like, did people go see it? Did they give a shit?
I don't
think so.
remember it. There was another crocodile movie that came out called Rogue that did have a theatrical release. I don't remember this one having a theatrical release, though.
Not a wide release anyway.
Yeah.
I'll say I think Rogue and this kind of came out around the same time, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because I saw Rogue at the cinemas. I don't even remember the first time watching this.
Yeah, 'cause
That's you.
This was my first time watching it this year, and then I rewatched it for the show because I watched it, I think, back in like February or March for the first time. And then, rewatching it again, I'm just like, I liked it the first time I watched it, and then rewatching it, I'm going, oh, I see so much wrong with this. And yeah, I just didn't really care for any of the characters. It was kind of boring because, I mean, you're watching them just chill in a tree.
Yeah, and like the acting was fine. You know what I mean? I just feel like he just didn't give a fuck. And like, I don't know, what stage does rigor mortis set in? Like, how long was she dead for that she was able to get her? I don't know, down the tree and into the boat. Like, that just seems like a lot of work when you're already exhausted from fighting for your life. Like
I mean, I guess at that point, like, she didn't care because, like, the threat was gone at that moment.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I guess she could have just taken her time to do it, but still, it just seemed a bit odd.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you guys recommend? I thought it was fine. If you really like crocodiles, I don't know if they used a real crocodile or footage or whatever, but I thought the special effects were good. Whatever they used as that croc was great. Like, I thought that was fine. It wasn't cheesy. It just wasn't that entertaining. So I would say if you really like crocodile movies, give it a watch, but it's not one of the better ones.
I agree. I think there are better ones. I prefer Rogue. It has problems with CGI and stuff like that, but I think it's more entertaining. Lake Placid is probably up there as one of my most fun crocodile films.
Yeah, Lake Placid is just bonkers. I love it.
Lake Placid.
Yeah, Lake
Placid's
Placid's awesome.
I'm not talking about the stupid sequels. But yeah, look, I've never really been a fan of this one. I'm with Heather. I find it boring and drawn out.
Yeah, because this could have been like maybe a 45-minute movie, like a short film.
Definitely.
Because there's no needed because it was like, if this was a real situation, yes, that sucks, but it doesn't make for an entertaining movie watching people stuck in a tree bickering back and forth. It should have been cut, like, it should have been a 45-minute short film, and you could have made it a little more entertaining that way.
Yeah.
But I agree. It's like, it's there. It's one of those movies that I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but there are so many better films.
Yeah.
And I found them annoying. They kept complaining about being thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so tired. Like, and I get why they did that for the realism. And then I don't understand. They got up to the tree and the dude was already like, no one's fucking coming. Like, they've been there for like 10 minutes and he's like, that's it. We got to fight the croc. We got to go in the water.
That is so true. He just kind of like jumped.
Why don't we just wait? And he's like, fuck no. We need to. It was Tim. He wanted to go punch the crocodile. He was like, come at me, bro. What do you think, Daniel? Do you recommend it?
I thought it was fine. It wasn't anything amazing. I didn't think the acting was bad or anything, but like, if you're looking for like cool, gory kills, it's not there. But it was, I don't know, just very okay movie, you know? Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but I wouldn't say avoid it like it's horrible or anything.
Yeah, agreed.
Fair enough.
So I guess we can jump into probably what I will assume is everyone's probably favorite movie of this whole entire segment tonight, and that would be The Loved Ones from 2009. It's an Australian horror film written and directed by Sean Byrne, who also directed The Devil's Candy, which I watched this year for the first time. Freaking amazing movie.
Sorry.
It stars Xavier Samuel, Robin McLeavy, Victoria Thane, Jessica Manami, Richard Wilson, and John Brumpton. The story is, Lola Stone asked Brett Mitchell to the prom, but Brent said no, and now he's screwed. What happens when Lola doesn't get what she wants? She enlists Daddy's help to throw a prom of her own, where she is queen and Brent is king, whether he likes it or not. The Loved Ones is what happens when puppy love goes horribly, violently wrong. Brent should have said yes. Holy shit, this movie. So yeah, I guess we just kind of go around and get everybody's thoughts on it real quick. So yeah, let's go with our guests. We'll start with Daniel.
Yo, I fucking love this movie. It was so good. I didn't see any of it coming. Like, it was so good. There were so many cool little fucking twists and shit. The kills were amazing. And I love that crazy bird so much.
Yeah, so Lola was fucking insane.
So fucking hot. Anyway, fucking love crazy birds. Anyway, yeah, it was great. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, because this was your first time watch, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nice.
I never even heard of this fucking movie before.
Yeah, it's like, because I think it's yours and Heather's first time watch. And I think Tim and I have seen it a couple times now.
Yep.
So yeah, let's go with another first time watcher then. Heather?
Oh, I thought it was horrible. Kidding. I thought it was very good. I was honestly shocked on how gory it was at parts. There was a part that made me cringe. The part where she drills and the drill's coming towards him. And I was like, nah, she's not going to do it. Nah. And I was working at the same time. I was like, oh my God. Mickey, turn away, Mickey. Mickey's my dog. And I was just, it fucked me up. Now, I have, the only thing I have as a doubt is I doubt this kid would have survived everything he went through and been able to drive a car. You know, his toes were broken and some other shit. And that's suspension of disbelief. You know, that's fine. Like, I can turn that off for this movie. But the acting was right up there solid. Particularly for the antagonists. I thought that both Lola and her dad did a fucking phenomenal job of being psychopaths. And, you know, it's a good movie. It's a gory movie. It's suspenseful, and it definitely doesn't hold back.
No, it does not.
He's crazy. And, like, you know, and the kind of the relationship between the father and the daughter, which is kind of incestuous, like, it's fucked.
So good.
Yeah, it's so, like, you just get that, like, really creepy vibe, especially when you see just the dad, like, just kind of leering at his daughter at points. And it's
she says stuff. She has a dialogue with him where she says, "You were always the one, Daddy," you know, and they almost kiss, and, like, I'm like, man, this is like, am I watching Pornhub, but, like, different? Like, it was just really dark.
Well, then also that scene where she's pretty much giving Brent a hand job or blow job, but looking at her dad while she's doing it and stuff. It's like, okay, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
All right, before we go too much farther, though, Tim, how about you?
Well, I think it comes as no surprise that I'm not a fan of Australian films, but this one here is probably my favorite Australian film of all time. I fucking love this film, man. I remember watching it my first time watching it. I can't remember when it was, but I fell in love with it straight away. Watching it again for this show, I found so much more that I didn't pick up on previous watches that I really liked. A lot with the acting, a lot of the characters' actions and stuff before the gore and the action happens that really made this movie work for me. I just think this movie's phenomenal. Sean, I can never pronounce his last name. Sean Byrne?
Byrne, I think is how it's
Byrne. That sounds right. Yeah, he's, as you said before, he did the Devil's Candy. He's a director that I can't wait till he puts more stuff out. Everything he touches is gold, really.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever he does next, because man, this movie, I watched it for the first time last year, around 2010. Actually, I think it was one of my first time watches for my countdown to Halloween last year. And I didn't, like, I've heard people talk about this for so long in the horror community. It's like, oh, this movie's great. And I was like, all right, I have no idea what it's about. I'm going to just jump right into watching it. And holy crap, I was blown away. I'm just like, what the hell? These people are freaking insane. Yep. The character development, like even like the little side stories with Brent's friend and the goth chick Mia that he takes out to the prom, like just that story is just freaking awesome. Just watching them, like they're barely even part of the actual main event that's going on.
Sorry to cut you off. That's something. It's not a dislike. It's more just of a nitpick. Like, I don't really understand why that storyline is a part of the film. It doesn't really do anything to the film. It's enjoyable, and I love those two characters, especially the goth girl. But
right.
But it doesn't really do anything for the film, you know? Like, it doesn't take the film anywhere, really.
No, like
I think it does. But you got Scott.
I was like, it adds a little charm to such a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
But I think the only reason that they were kind of brought into this was kind of a way to bring the father of hers into it, which was the cop.
Yeah, I get that, but did you need the whole them in the car headbanging? And I'm not saying I didn't like it, because I love those two characters and their little journey, but I don't know. I just feel we didn't need it.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I think the Lola stuff is so intense. If you would have just hit on that the whole time, it would have been too much. And having it interweave these comedic lighter moments, which to be real felt pretty Australian. Like, I think this is like the most like accurate Australian feeling movie for sure. Like, other than it being called a prom. Like, if you just called it a fucking formal, like, totally
Yeah,
Australian.
That's what we call.
But
We call it the same here.
Yeah, I was like, I think Americans are the only ones that call it prom once again.
yeah, I think you interweaving those two characters in the story and then having it come back around as a heavy emotional note that why she was doing all that stuff was because she was grieving and talking about like it feels like a movie about like loss and acceptance and like things like that where it all kind of like connected together. So even though it was the film's brevity, it came back and hit hard with the emotional note where you found out who she was at the end.
Yep.
But
And I was saying
that's-
this also like tackles grief in a unique way too, with the way that Brent accidentally hits that almost hits that kid in the beginning and kills his father when he's learning
Yeah.
how to drive for his first time, and how it is constantly brought back up because of the situation of that kid being one of the escapees of Lola's, and just like him having to pretty much face that fear over and over again while dealing with the shit that Lola's putting him through. And like, yeah, this film was just put together and edited in such a way that it just like worked perfectly. Because yeah, I agree with Daniel. Like those scenes of levity were interspersed and edited perfectly with like what was going on with Lola and Brent. And I think it just kind of it was a way to just like, all right, you're going through this intense scene. All right, take a break and have a little bit of a laugh. All right, go back to it again. Take a break. It's just like kind of upping your emotions and then settling you down a bit, and then upping them up again and settling them down. It's kind of a roller coaster ride in a way with this film.
Yeah. Going
so
back
good.
to the grief point, and this is something I picked up on this recent watch, and something that I really, really liked that they did is how you see Brent going through the grief of his father passing, and you see him climbing the mountain or the cliff, whatever you want to call it, and he's hanging by one hand, and all I could think of that was going on in his mind is, I don't care if I die right now. And then when he slips, it's, oh shit, no, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
But he's grief. And there's another scene where Brent's mum calls the cop, saying that my son's lost, and it zooms in on the cop's wife, who has this face of, she's calling again, but at the same time, utter sadness for what this woman's gone through. And just the look on her face it's really impactful.
I think you would have definitely picked that up on, because I don't think I picked it up as much.
Yeah, I
on my
picked up on
first
that
watch,
the second watch.
But I think knowing who that family was now, I think that stuff would stick out a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like one of those that does like deserve a rewatch at some point, because there is just these subtle things that just add to the movie's lore a little more.
Also, the basement zombies.
Yeah, and wasn't that the biggest basement you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it was massive and really tall. Like I really felt like that was a very deep dungeon.
More of
that they were
a
in.
pit, really.
Yeah, it was more of a pit. I think that's a good description.
And I
You know
have to
something-
say, the screams that Brent and all of the other ones that are trapped in that basement make, it's just like so like haunting of a scream.
Well, it's raw.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
It's very raw.
Yeah. There's something actually I and you're going to laugh at me, but I've never really picked up on this until this recent watch, is when Lola pulls out the scrapbook and she's showing pictures of all the other guys that she's done it to. And I never realized that that Lola's in all these pictures, and she's like, one picture she's like a 5-year-old girl, and it just
Yeah.
shows. I never picked up on that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this girl's been doing it since she was young. That's what really disturbed me.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, because it makes you wonder, like, was this something that, was she just because daddy spoiled princess that she got
Oh,
everything?
well, no, she's a psycho narcissist. Like, that's not a spoiled brat. That's someone who.
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, when she was 5 years old, though. Like, is that how? Like,
You
I
could be
wonder
a
how this all
narcissist
started.
at 5, yeah.
I mean, I wonder how this all like started. Like, did the dad just go, "Oh, they turned you down at the prom? Well, I'm gonna go kidnap this boy and like have a prom."
Yeah.
Or was this her idea? Or how did this all come together?
Well, I think if you go back to Halloween, for example, 1978, Michael Myers is evil just from being a child. There's no reason why she couldn't.
Oh, I know she's
evil
evil
and
straight up.
demand
Yeah.
it. And maybe there's mental illness that runs in the family,
So
and the father has issues or whatever the case may be, and it's just she's easy to manipulate him.
Yeah.
Like we talked
Because I
about
was
children in horror before, right? Their ability to manipulate.
Oh yeah, and I was just kind of curious because I'm like wondering if like whose idea was it to start doing these proms? Was it hers or her dad's, or kind of like a mixture of the two? Because it's like
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious. I would be kind of curious to find that out if there was like a little backstory putting in.
See, I don't know if I need that. I don't think that would add to the lore. I think you could assume that it was her.
Oh, that's true.
Just with the violence that she engages in. Now, he instructs her, right? There's parts with the drill when he's telling her what to do and stuff. But I think that we just have a hard time thinking that a child of that young could manipulate a parent. But as we've seen it, in other movies and stuff,
that is very true.
There's also the character of Bright Eyes, the woman who's chained to the table,
which is her mom.
I previous watches I always just assumed that this is the father's date, but Lola does that line at the end where she says goodbye, mum. I'm like,
Oh, it was?
is it the mum or is she just calling it the mum?
I thought
either
she was
her
just
mom-
another kidnap victim, but I could be wrong.
When I read the review, it said that it was her mom.
Okay.
And and it makes sense, right? If she's in love with her dad, she would be jealous of her mom. Very like Freudian shit going on here. But yeah, it was an interesting film. You guys really pointed out the grief stuff that I didn't even think about. I was so caught on the gore and the torture, which I have a hard time watching torture. It actually does make me uncomfortable. It, especially the drilling part, like that was the part that I was like,
So
holy fuck.
Like,
And talk about the effects, like wow, well done.
Well, it's the effects, and there's also the sound design in it, as Scott mentioned before. Like Brent screams, but the drilling scene, and when Lola asks him to make the hole bigger, you hear the drill grinding the skull, and the sound design is absolutely incredible. That scene, it makes your blood run cold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it gave me chills.
I'm
up
pretty
my
sure I was
spine.
messaging Scott the whole time
Yes, you were.
when I was watching it.
Because I had to tell you to like switch over to. Yeah, because I had to tell you to switch over to personal chat because Heather hadn't watched it yet, and I didn't want you spoiling it for her if she read back on the chat.
I wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter to me.
But it was a movie where I don't remember having so many like visceral reactions to things in a long time. Like where it's just like
Yeah.
So much of that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that one
so
definitely
good.
it gets under your skin.
Oh, it's amazing.
So let's go to one that
Also
is
amazing?
I'll say the exact opposite of the loved ones.
I was gonna say that one. I'm glad I bought.
Yeah, no kidding.
This one, I'm not so glad I bought.
And the one we were speaking about, we've messed around and talked about this film a little bit when we first saw it a while back, but this is Outback from 2020, an Australian survival horror film directed by Mike Green and stars Lauren Lofberg, Taylor Weiss, and Brandon Donahue. Quote unquote, said to be based on a true story.
It's not.
Nope. Heather looked into this. She could not find shit on this. Outback tells the terrifying tale of a young couple lost in the wilderness and fighting for survival. Wade and Lisa head to Australia hoping to recharge their failing romance. When their GPS fails, they leave their car and head off on foot to find a new route. As night falls, they must spend the night in the bush without food, water, or weapons, surrounded by snakes, scorpions, and wild dogs. Now, one decision could mean the difference between life and certain death. And I gotta say right now, surrounded by snakes, scorpions, and wild dogs, where the fucks were the snakes and the wild dogs? There was none of that.
There was a snake in the car at the end.
Yep, there was, but they weren't surrounded by it. That's the part that I call
They were
bullshit.
surrounded by desert
And
Surrounded by
stupidity.
and poor
stupid.
decision.
Yeah.
Okay. This fucking movie. It is literally, here are some dumb North American tourists. Hey.
American.
Fine. American tourists. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, Canada.
Just want to be clear.
But this is like, hey, you know what's a good idea? Let's go drive a 36-hour drive into the outback, and we're only going to bring like
2 Slim Jims and 2 bottles of water.
Yeah, and maybe a couple granola bars and 1 can of gas. And we're going to be so prepared for this and use a map instead of a GPS, and then use a GPS for a little while that just realizes doesn't fucking work. Oh my God.
Well, the poor decision making started when he proposed to her on a fucking plane, and there was no conversation beforehand. Can you imagine? Like, okay,
Yeah.
Tim, picture back to your engagement. Okay, you're on a fucking plane with like, is it Jalissa?
Yes.
And
Yes.
she's like, and you propose, and she's like, no. You'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Our vacation done. We're getting back on a plane and going home. You wouldn't be like, let's spend the rest of this time together now. After you've rejected my proposal. So what do you guys think of this movie? Is this like, would Australians make this movie because they just think Americans are stupid?
You go. You go. I'll interject when I need to.
Okay. I heard you guys talking about this movie, saying how bad it is and everything like that. And you said before that, Scott, you and me, we agree on some movies, we disagree on others. So going into this movie, I was like, I wonder if this is going to be something I enjoy and Scott hates. No, you guys are right. This movie is fucking bullshit. There is so much wrong with this movie. A lot of wrong. Heather, what was the question? Sorry, I'm just
like. Do you guys think tourists are like this? Is this truly how Australians view American tourists?
Definitely some tourists.
But not all. I honestly don't think that an American couple is that stupid to drive from. Where were? Okay, here's the thing. They
came out in Sydney.
Airport. Yeah, they came.
And then they drove around in a fucking circle for 2 hours.
Yes. Okay. They show where they're going, and I used to be a truck driver in Sydney. I know a lot of the roads. So watching where they're going, I was like, where are they fucking going? They're back and forth. They're not going anywhere near.
They were headed past the bridge, and then they were going back north, and then they're at Milson's Point, and then they got out.
What are you doing? But the thing is, like, they get out of Sydney Airport and they want to go to the beaches. Cool. So they decide to go to a place called Copacabana, which is north of Sydney Airport, and it's about an hour and a half drive. Yet there is a beach about 15 minutes from Sydney Airport. Like, why didn't you start there? Like, why do you have to go to the furthest location ever to go to the beach? And maybe they were just going there to work their way down. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't see why would you do that. Whatever.
I'm going to interject real quick. I think the reason they went to Copacabana is because in America, that is like one of the common beaches that us Americans know.
That's funny because I've never heard of that beach before.
Yeah, because I've heard of Copacabana and like a couple of my friends know of Copacabana, but like I think that would be the only reason. Like, oh, it's somewhere familiar that we've heard about. We got to go see it. That's the only
it's
reason.
for an American audience and North American audience too, right? So then that's familiar.
Yeah.
As all the Aussies are like, what the fuck are they doing?
You'd think you go to Bondi or fucking somewhere like that.
Yeah, one of the famous beaches. That's closer, a lot closer.
And also the dumb, like, how many tourists do you guys see that just go, you know what? We're going to drive ourselves, especially American tourists who are used to driving on the other side of the road.
Also Canadians, same with Canadians, yeah.
That can happen.
I've always said that if I ever come to America, I'm not driving because I will get confused and end up in a car crash.
Yep, same here.
It spins you out when you get to an intersection and you're on the right side.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah,
it would be weird. Just even sitting in the passenger seat, whether it's
on the wrong side
wheel.
Yeah.
Like, what is this sorcery? This is
sorcery.
Trust me, we'd be feeling the same way.
This movie took me out pretty much. I think it was like 5 minutes into it when the couple jump into a taxi, and the taxi driver in an Aussie accent, he goes,
"Oh yeah, well, bloody taxi driver, right? Fucking
life's too short. Life's too short to mope around." Here's the thing about Australian taxi drivers. There are no fucking Australian taxi drivers. They're all Indian.
You got Indian ones, Arab ones, Chinese ones. But like maybe one in every like 400 is like white.
They got the one Australian taxi driver that works around the airport.
But like the other thing that I noticed in that scene too is like you had the because in Australia you got to display the taxi license in case like something goes wrong or
they have to do that in Canada too.
Yeah, same here in America.
And it's like some brown dude with a giant beard that looks nothing like the actual taxi driver.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
That's really funny.
But no,
Hilarious.
to answer your question, no, I honestly don't think that tourists are that stupid to do that, especially drive all the way from Sydney to the Northern Territory to go visit Uluru, which is a fucking dumb decision for one. You're in a rental car.
Terrible.
You don't know what that car's going to do.
Terrible.
It's going to break down.
Yeah.
On another note,
You go up the coast and then across.
And they probably would have told the rental agency too, right? Like they would have wanted to know, I assume, like, oh, they probably would have had a conversation. Don't you think the rental agency people would be like, that's a poor decision. Perhaps
Probably.
you should not do that with our car.
Because the country's so big.
Yes.
And the towns inland are so sparse that if you don't fill up petrol at the right place, you won't make it to the next town.
yeah, no. Also, the hire car probably has a tracker on it. So the people at the hire company are probably looking at it going, what the fuck? And probably going to call you to go, turn around now and bring back my fucking car.
Yeah, if they're in the middle of the desert for X amount of days, they would have tried to figure out like where they were, or probably send emergency or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that just kind of totally kills the movie, doesn't it? When you think of it.
Oh, you just wait till we start talking about the fucking animals, man.
Oh, so yeah, tell us about the animals. Actually, tell us how she survived the scorpion. My favorite is that she got stung by a scorpion and survived. Like, and had no real issues. Like, she was able to, like, get up and walk around after, like, 2 days of rest or whatever she saw.
I've never seen a scorpion here.
Neither. I've seen one in the wildlife farm or whatever you want to call it.
In the zoo.
Yeah, never in real life.
I had to look it up to check that there were scorpions here. Apparently there are.
That's really funny.
There are desert scorpions. Another thing with the animals is they keep hearing a howl or something like that. I'm guessing that's their attempt at doing a dingo noise.
Oh.
I've heard dingoes howl. It sounds nothing like that. Whatever noise that in the movie. It's dingoes howling is not like a wolf howl.
Yeah, they made it sound almost like coyotes sound here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other thing? Oh, the jellyfish?
Yes, the jellyfish sting.
Fuck off. Those jellyfish don't sting you, the ones that they showed.
Oh,
Their
really?
stings are so mild. Yeah, like those are ones you like pick up and you throw at your brother and shit.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, we have jellyfish that are fucking insane, and they didn't use them. We've got box jellyfish, and we've got the blue bottles, which are fucked up, and would have honestly a blue bottle would have looked way better on screen than those jellyfish.
Yeah.
And they fuck you up, and also like even if you did get a blue bottle sting, it would not end up like that dude's leg was.
Yeah, he had third-degree burns or something.
So ridiculous.
I was gonna say, like, Heather, when you got stung, like, did yours even look that bad?
No, of course not. It didn't look like his leg basically looked like he had an infection, like fleshy disease. No, but then again, I also went and got it treated.
Yeah, right away.
Because I'm not an idiot. Even though I got the stung because I was an idiot, but I still at least dealt with it right away.
And the whole thing about pissing on a jellyfish wound, that's not real. That's not real.
Yeah, that that was a thing that I actually asked Heather. I'm like, is that a real thing? And she's going, no. I'm going, all right, I feel dumb for asking that.
No, but if you've never been, you would know.
Right.
It's the greatest practical joke ever made.
Yeah. The snake wasn't real. What do they call it? A blackhead taipan or some shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not real. You're just trying to use a black-headed python later. I'm sure you're just going to use a black-headed python later. And then when the actual snake is there, it's just all over her like a domesticated snake would be.
Yeah.
Not like a wild snake would be. I was like, why don't you just put it on the seat of the car or like near the feet or something, and like feed it off camera and get it to like wind up and strike how they do, and then you could have used that as a shot. Instead, it's like slithering all over her, like it would never do.
Like she's at a zoo and they're like, "Welcome to the snake demonstration."
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, that snake looks so chill.
You know what?
It's because it was chill.
She should have punched that snake.
Then it would have been real Australian.
Just like the guy should have punched the jellyfish.
Right?
It's like real taipans are fucked up. Like, they're super venomous, and they like they'll strike you multiple times, and that's why they'll fucking kill you so quick because they can inject so much venom.
Oh,
At
wow.
that point.
Yeah. Oh man, Taipans are rad.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering all my like little fucking primary school assignments on animals and shit.
And yeah, I just gotta say, like, too, earlier when Tim said, like, you didn't think American tourists would do something like this. Sorry to tell you,
Scott
us
would.
Americans are fucking dumb.
Scott would.
Oh, no.
Not majority of our American audience. But Scott would.
Just
No,
stop.
I would not. I would not. I know better than to go out into the
You went
wilderness.
into an abandoned cabin in the middle of
That's-
a fucking camping trip.
Yeah, that's completely different. That's an abandoned place you can explore that's, like, safe. I mean, yeah, there may be a madman or a
Safe.
psychopath living
You
there.
don't even know if the floor was going to cave in, but it was safe.
Yes, but at the same time,
Testy
like,
steps.
but at the same time, like, I'm not in Australia where everything can kill you. But
Fair
no,
enough.
I'm
Fair
I'm
enough.
not going to be going to, like, say, I already feel uncomfortable when I'm, like, not near a city or like a town that has a gas station. I feel uncomfortable going, if I run out of gas, what the hell am I going to do? No,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be like, hey, let's take this 36-hour drive out into the middle of fucking nowhere where there's no sign of civilization whatsoever. That sounds like a great fucking idea.
With a person that turned down my engagement, and we're all
Yes.
going to just pretend it's fine for 2
And,
weeks.
and sit in a
Yeah.
car for 36 hours with her, like, and like nothing's. That's
And then
not gonna
drink
do.
antifreeze and give her my pee-pee. So that's
Oh my
how makes
God,
her
dude.
live,
let's
survive.
get on. Let's get on to that. What the
This
fuck?
director fucking loved piss. Oh my
He
God.
really
He was
did.
So
obsessed with
There
it.
was so many shots of piss, and her drinking piss, and him just fucking guzzling it.
Yeah, he was just probably behind the camera, just going, "Yeah, you
He's
drink
like,
that
"Fuck
piss.
yeah, drink that."
Now give some to
piss.
her.
But the
Yeah,
dumb
give her a little bit. Yeah, she needs it.
It's like yeah, I can understand you want to drink. You need to drink piss to survive because you have no other water. Sure, I get
Yeah,
that.
she definitely
But-
fucking needs to drink piss.
But the fact that he goes and fucking starts drinking windshield washer solvent out of the fucking car, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, are you that fucking dumb and dense?
You know the funny thing is, Kat, your cat sitting beside you, is that Luna? No, that's Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's Elizabeth.
And she's even like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
she's even listening to it, and she's like, that sounds fucking stupid.
Isn't
I
that
But
like
right?
yeah.
at the end, how she's like, "I'll marry you now." And I'm like, that's so fucking
But
stupid.
he's
Fuck
fucking
off.
dying.
Go drink
As
your
you're
piss
dying,
and
I'll marry
die.
you now. It's like,
And then the rancher, I love the stereotypical rancher that shows up with like the crocodile
Oh.
Dundee jacket and the hat and shit at the end. Oh my
Yep.
That's what
god.
we all wear.
Yeah, that's every Australian. That's exactly what we look like.
That's what
That's
they all
definitely
look like. And she
fucking
has a
true,
bottle
bro.
of water and she's pouring it into her mouth. Oh my god. It was so
This-
fucking bad.
this movie was insulting to Australians and insulting to Americans. It was
insulting to movies.
It was just insulting to
insulting.
everybody.
But it really glorified pee-pee.
Fuck,
And
but-
don't
Yes.
drink antifreeze. Just
yeah,
in
but
case any
drink
of those
all the
kids out
piss you
there.
can. You can get any piss, just drink it.
Yep, just chug that
Just
shit.
drink
It's
that
like,
piss.
Yeah.
it'll
Whatever
feel
you gotta do.
revitalized.
You know what would have
Do
made
it.
the movie even better if she was pregnant. That would have been the only thing
Oh.
to fucking push this
You know
over.
what? I was honestly waiting for it to be real. I was like, they're gonna fucking throw that in there.
I was
too.
gonna wait
Right?
for like the reason I said no to marriage is because I was scared because I found out I was pregnant, and now that you're dying, I'm gonna tell you that I'm pregnant and I will marry you.
I was waiting for it.
Oh.
I was waiting for it, legit.
The only good thing I will say about this movie is the way the boyfriend died. I will say his death acting was pretty fucking good with like his chemical poisoning that he did.
Yeah.
Like
Drinking antifreeze, he definitely acted like he drank antifreeze.
yeah, like
He
he
probably did.
yeah. So it's
He's
probably
like,
all the
he
piss that he
realized his
drank.
career was over after this movie, so he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the piss. That's probably all the piss he drank that he's like starting to convulse like that in real life. He's
right?
probably like chugging jars of piss behind the scenes, like yeah, doing this.
But like, the dude was like mad into it from like the get go. He had no problems drinking it. He was like,
like-
yeah, this is fucking great.
Well, and he even brought it up to his girlfriend on the way out there. They're like, you know, if we run out of water, we'll have to start drinking our piss. Like that was the first thing he instantly thought of. It's like, dude, chill
Yeah.
out.
It was
And
so
then
over the
she-
top of like he's a soldier. Did you know he's a soldier? He's a
Yeah.
soldier.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The worst soldier of all.
Yeah, somehow he didn't know how to survive in the wilderness being a soldier. You think you dumb shit.
Yeah, basic survival training.
So we really recommend Outback 2020, everybody. If you really want to see a great film, definitely.
Yeah, look, if you're into water sports and shit, you could probably come. But other than that, there's no real reason to watch this movie.
But there's a good reason to listen to this review about this movie, and if you want to go back to how stupid it is, you could do it. I suggest watching it on like time and a half, so it goes quicker.
Yeah, because it is it's an easy watch. It's not like it doesn't take forever and drag its feet, but it's at the same time you are just like grabbing your head and going, why?
So Scott thought it was really like that. Actually, what did I say, Scott? We would be too busy getting drinks and
yeah, we'd be too busy like hanging out with Tim and Daniel in Sydney getting drunk. Like,
I'd be drunk in Tim's basement watching horror movies. I wouldn't be doing that fucking shit.
Right? You know better than that shit. Are you kidding me?
Fuck that. And I'd be like, make me a Vegemite sandwich, Tim.
It's like, I will, like, if I do come down to visit, I'll be like, all right, I got to try Vegemite. I least got to try it.
Do that.
Just give
we would be the biggest
spoonful.
fucking nerds.
Yeah, I'll just give you a big spoonful.
Take it.
Just be like, I'll be like the total tourist, and you'd be like, God damn it.
And I'd be like, where are them drop bears? Where are the drop bears?
Fucking everywhere. Look out for him.
Daniel's a drop bear. He's just pretending to be human.
All right, let's get to this last motherfucker so he can go to bed.
All right. So yeah, we are going to jump on to the last film of the night, which is also from 2020, and that is the Australian horror comedy Two Heads Creek, directed by Jesse O'Brien and stars Gary Sweet, Carrie Armstrong, and Catherine Wilder. A timid butcher and his drama queen twin sister quit the hostile confines of post-Brexit Britain and the adventure to Australia in search of their birth mother. But the seemingly tolerant townsfolk are hiding a very dark and meaty secret.
Lol.
Meaty because he's a butcher. I get it.
I thought it was more the cannibalism.
Yeah, that too.
That's bad. That's probably better.
I was pretty entertained by this film. Like, I was gonna joke around and be like, "So, are these the type of towns that are in Australia, guys?"
Yeah, actually, no. To be honest with you, there are rural towns that look like that. Yeah,
it kind of nails rural towns, like legitimately.
It does.
I feel like
this movie nails a few things. For one, the Asian tourists that take photos of everything.
Yes.
They did the chant that I can never fucking remember. The drinking chant.
Australia, go, or something like that, wasn't it?
No. Yeah, it was not that one.
He's a piss pot. He's true blue.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, I know the one.
He's bust through and through.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a drinking song we sing to make people scull their drink.
Yeah. Tried to go to heaven, but he went the other way.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
They were doing that, but they were doing it wrong, and I was like, "That's not how you do it."
I was saying, like, out of all the films, like you said, The Loved Ones like was more the accurate representation of Australia, like with the way characters interact and stuff. Like, I'm guessing this is probably more of the accurate way the rural folk are.
Yeah,
so they're all cannibals, and they
well, not the cannibal part.
Fuck their siblings, right? That's how it works.
It's definitely exaggerated, for sure.
It is very over the top. These characters are very over the top, but yeah, the set designs, they do look like towns that you would pass if you're
and like
in the state.
That Boris, was his name Boris? I can't remember the hella Aussie dude that you'd like need you guys would have needed a translator for.
No.
Yeah, there was because one of those guys I was having a hard time understanding what he was saying.
Yeah, I just thought he was yelling nonsense the entire time. And
no, he was talking.
Yeah, that's the old guy, right?
He was talking about like ABBAs and stuff like that, and
you mean the old guy, the old
yeah,
guy?
Boris, whatever his name is.
He calls the Asian spring roll. Made me piss myself.
Yeah, like everyone's met someone like him here. Yeah, like with that fucking heavy of an accent and shit.
I feel like that was a great like nod to Australian too. Like that's something that Scott and I didn't catch, but Australians watching it would catch.
Yeah, because he reminds me of like the crazy podunk hillbillies that live deep in the woods of like Michigan, like especially the Yoopers, as we like to call them in the Upper Peninsula. Like just have this very thick heavy dialect that it's like when you hear talk like, like, what did you just say? I know it's English in there somewhere, but you're saying it so
Crowfish.
fast, I can't even understand it. And I'm from the same state as you. What the hell?
Yeah, shit like that. It definitely there was definitely moments where it felt super pandery to Australians.
Oh, really?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, the Aussie oi thing, definitely.
Oi.
Oh, yeah. Oi,
Oi, oi.
Didn't even do it right.
I
Yeah,
know,
well, how is it
finish
supposed to be done?
Sorry.
There's like,
Yeah, how is it supposed to be done?
Oh, fuck. All right. I'll start, Luffy. You can finish it. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
oi, oi, oi,
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
oi, oi, oi,
Aussie.
oi,
Aussie.
oi,
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
oi, oi. But it's supposed to get more rambunctious. But
Yeah, it's meant to be a thing. I fucking hate it. When people start doing that, I'm like, yep, I'm out. Fuck this.
That sounds like it would be like
it's a
especially the
fucking sports jockey thing that they do at like stadiums and shit. But I don't know. Australia seems to have a lot of that kind of shit. Like,
Well,
if I said, "Am I ever going to see your face again?" What would
No way.
Tim
Get
say?
fucked. Fuck off. No one would get that unless you're from
Nope.
Australia.
If you said that to a group of Australians, they would all say, "No way, get fucked, fuck off."
That's amazing.
It's like it's just this response to a song that was never in the song that people just started doing at their concerts and stuff, and that everybody just knows about now.
Oh, that is fantastic. I love this.
It's amazing. The only part that really stood out to me that I thought was, well, obviously there's lots of parts that were funny, but when the tourists get first on the bus and that woman is so over the top, like Australian, like I was dying. I was like, that's totally something that like every fucking tourist thinks is going to happen when they get on a fucking Aussie bus. They think they're going to meet somebody like that. But do you guys recommend it? Final thoughts?
I mean,
Oh,
okay.
really?
To be honest, yeah, like it was fine. I'll never watch it again. Honestly, the comedy for me didn't really hit. I never laughed out loud except for that one part where he calls the Asian spring roll. That's the only part that made me laugh. The rest was just like, I didn't really. It was fine. It was entertaining. I think I gave it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, I could take it or leave it, to be honest. That's just me though.
Fair. All right, Daniel.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. There were definitely moments that made me laugh and stuff. And it's definitely like a cartoon version of rural Australia, for sure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does.
But that shit just would have just annoyed Tim. So I get why he wasn't super into it.
Yeah, I think he's angry that he's Australian. I feel like Tim
I
doesn't
am-
want to be
yeah, I'm-
Australian.
He's mad about
I'm
it. He
the
hates
worst
it.
Australian ever.
Yeah,
Well-
he's all like, I don't like to leave my house. I
He
don't.
wants to pay medical bills and get paid minimum
See,
wage.
that's why Tim and I get along. This is why Tim and I get along. He hates Australia, and I hate America.
You don't hate America.
Switch.
The funny thing is,
It.
at
I
school,
want to move to Canada, like
Well,
so
yeah.
freaking bad. So I do want to
Yeah.
get the hell out of here.
That's fair.
Why you
That's
just want
fair.
healthcare and weed and shit?
Yeah, I want to actually, live an actual like decent life.
Can you hear some of our American viewers right now? Our listeners are like, "Fuck you, Scott."
That probably all American viewers are going, yeah, we'd all move to Canada. If we
Yeah,
could."
it's true. If they're listening to our show, they probably are thinking the same thing. It's true. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I agree, though. I don't think it was like the best movie I've ever seen, but there was definitely like it was fun. It was a fun little film.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I thought it was entertaining. Had some very funny moments in it. The whole cannibalism thing was a bit ridiculous, and like kind of seen that coming a mile away, but it was still part of it. Just kind of felt with that charm, and I did love the chemistry between the brother and sister.
Yeah,
Like,
it was good.
Those
they
two were
definitely
great together.
Casted well for sure. Absolutely. All right, so let's move into our final segment. Is Out of the Dark, and this doesn't have to be super long, but we just wanted to know what stereotypes you guys had of North Americans, Canadians or American,
I
or
think
both.
I've hit a few.
I've actually got a list here, the same type of list that you had, Heather, with the
Oh,
Australian.
nice.
Oh, nice.
The exact same website and everything.
Let her
So,
rip.
Awesome.
so let's just go for it. All right. So the first one is Americans are loud and obnoxious.
Some are. Scott's
Yeah.
not. Actually, Scott's not, but there are ones that are.
Yeah, I would say like as a country as a whole, like looking from like at a bird eye perspective, we are loud and obnoxious.
I think there's just groups of you that are super loud and they think the rest of you are all like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's because when you go out drinking or wherever where there's backpackers and stuff, you can always hear a fucking American.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we're drinking, a lot of us do get loud and obnoxious. I get louder as I drink.
Super friendly though.
Oh yeah.
Every American I've met, it's been like hella friendly and stuff.
Yeah, they
But
are actually
just
pretty friendly.
loud.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yep, I'll say it. I definitely can't deny that one.
Yeah.
The next one I have here, I don't actually agree with this one, but the next one is everyone is racist.
Did you watch the debate on Wednesday night?
I
Boy.
watched points of it, some highlights.
I don't think everyone is racist. I think actually,
The majority, the silent majority, are non-racist.
yes.
Unfortunately, the louder minority that are the racists.
And
No,
there's
I think it
racist
is.
people in Canada, but they just keep it in their houses.
Yeah.
They're very
I think,
British here.
I think there's more racial tension in America. Like it's a more kind of ever-present, tense situation with their racism.
Well, I was saying, I mean, we were built on the backs of racism. This country was like it's pretty much true. I mean,
I know. I
with
just can't believe you made that statement.
it's pretty fucking true though. Like this
It's
country
Canada,
was
though,
built
like-
off racism.
Well, that's what we did. We colonized, right?
Yeah.
Like both you guys were originally British and we all came over from Britain, right? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people are racist. They just keep it to themselves or they don't think they're racist. One or the other.
Yeah.
Yep, and like we got, like I said, the silent majority here. I know are like, because majority of people I know are not racist. There's the subtle racism and stuff like that, or the accidental racism.
It's
Well, or
just that
systematic racism, right? But we're not
Yes.
going to get into that in this podcast.
Right.
your racists are super loud about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are.
And I think they've been given the chance to have a voice now, which is what makes it scarier.
Absolutely.
Next.
Number 3 is Americans only care about themselves.
Yeah. We are in our own little fucking bubble here in this country.
Yeah.
Like once again, like it's not everybody, but like once again, the loud minority. Like a lot of us don't even leave our own freaking states a lot of the time.
That's the thing
Yeah.
that only really drives me nuts. I hate when someone tells me that's American, that their country is the greatest country in the world. Unless you have stepped foot out of your country and you have gone to another country or can explain to me how another country works, I don't know how you get off saying that. Because I've been
Yep.
to America. I've been to a lot of America and I know a lot of Americans. And I just find that statement very, very inaccurate if you don't have any actual knowledge of the rest of the world.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've never said anything like that, because I know better. Because it's like,
Well, you don't know, right? And it's not to say things in America aren't good. America
No.
is not a horrible shithole. It's not. But this belief that like, oh, we've held COVID, we've dealt with COVID the best. Australia's back to
Fuck no, we
motherfucking
haven't.
normal. You know, like there's countries that have nailed it, and like the fact that people refuse to fucking do a Google search makes me angry. Anyway.
like I think we're still the worst off country of the entire world right now with this shit.
Yes, you've had the most death. Yes, you guys are doing the worst. You're right, Scott. It's because
We-
Brazil
started
and
wearing their
India are
fucking
working
masks.
on it.
Yeah,
Right.
Brazil and India are right behind us.
That's
but-
true. They're trying. They're trying. That's
Yeah,
true.
man.
All
Tim,
right,
go.
number 4. And before I read this next one, just know that I am reading this off a website, and this is in no way my thoughts
Tim's
at all.
actual 100% opinion is
Shut up. Number 4 is Americans are stupid, uneducated people.
I can't
That-
believe you think that, Tim.
That is. Heather and I have had this discussion. It's fucking true. Like,
Yes, I
It-
think. Well, the
once
lack
again-
of consistency of education systems across the states has a lot to do with that,
yeah,
right?
like there's a few, like there is quite a few of us that are smart and intelligent, but man,
Thanks
there
for giving
are
us your
some-
pay for uni system.
but there are some dumb motherfuckers here that think they're the smartest people in the world. They are ignorant to everything that's going on around them.
You know what?
But they
you know,
feel like they're right. So
Oh, they do.
I don't know like as many Americans as you, Scott, obviously, but I have a
I'd say the
large
majority of
group-
people Scott knows are American.
Pretty accurate.
But I've got like a group of friends, all horror podcasters who are American, and every single one of them seems like an intelligent person. Now, I work with a guy who, and this is no joke, believes that the coronavirus is fake, much like a lot of Americans. So it's not just Americans who believe that all this stuff is fake and they're all stupid. There are stupid Australians as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no exclusivity on stupid.
No,
That's
I was
true.
like, every country has their own, but I don't know why, like, America seems to just be uneducated, especially in certain parts of the country.
Well, I think it's not, again, I don't think that's it. You have Bernie Sanders, for example, that's an extremely educated man.
Oh, yeah, not everybody.
Right. I just think the problem is Americans are the loudest, and they're loudest through the media. They have the most power when it comes to their dollar. You know, they're just the loudest, so we pay attention to them the most. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, depending on where, you know, power sits at any given time, it's the people that have views that are just not backed up by facts, that are backed up by unicorns and magical beliefs that, like, you know, in all defense, and Canadians are up there too. We have Canadians that think coronavirus is fake and that masks are oppressive. They're just quieter about it because we still have this fucking British influence, so we all just say it under our breaths and don't say it out loud, or type it on the internet like real keyboard warriors. So I don't know. I think America just has more of a global scene, hence why people think they're stupid.
Right.
More.
And I do just got to say this real quick. I do love when Heather comes in with her intelligence into an argument and brings up actual facts with some of these Americans, and they just go silent. Because they
Feelings don't have any time for your facts. So
yeah, like as soon as she brings in real life facts and accuracies, and they're just instantly just shuts the argument down, and I fucking love it every time.
Thanks, Scott. Like, you mean how government actually works and bylaws?
Yes, exactly. She doesn't even live
Yeah,
here, and she
but-
knows how our government works better than half the Americans.
it's not what the Bible says. So let's not get too hasty.
Oh, so true.
All right. This next one is I'm interested for your response. So the next one is every American owns a gun.
Once again, it's not completely wrong. Like, we are like the gun country. I don't
you
own a
own a
gun.
gun?
I don't own a
Okay.
gun.
Country.
I'd say about half of my friends do, and they are literal gun nuts. They don't own just one gun; they own 20, and they just
That would necessitate them having a gun rack.
yeah. Well, they don't even have that. I have a friend that has a combat shotgun with all these freaking tech gadgets on it, and it is strapped to the side of his bed, pointing at his
Calculator
bedroom
and
door.
shit.
Yeah, like it's literally pointing at his door. So if someone busts in his room that he doesn't like, all he's got to do is reach around and pull the trigger. It's already loaded and at his
He
door.
just has to not like you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
be nice to him.
and yeah, it's a lot. Like, I'd say about 90% of them are the Republicans that are like gun nuts. Then there's, like, you know, obviously the 10%, 10 to 20% that would be Democratic that love the gun, like love guns as well. But there's also the hunters that have their rifles that they have to have for hunting season. But then
It's
you got the
fun
people that are
shooting.
open carry and fucking pistols and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like,
Now, we have guns in Canada. I have friends that have guns. I've gone to a shooting range. The difference is you can't carry, and we have restrictions on what you can own. And it's much more difficult to get a gun license. Like, you actually have to, like, go through steps to get one. So
Like you have gun licenses.
yeah, like, we have gun licenses. Like, it's not like we're like, oh man, you got a criminal record and a case of like delusions and stuff. You know what? Here's a gun.
yeah, exactly. We could go on and on about that debate with the U.S., but like,
Nah.
no, it's like we are the gun country. Everybody loves their guns and loves
Well,
their
and Scott likes to take us all to the gun show.
baby. Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings me to my next point. And Scott, you just proved this complete false after seeing those wonderful arms. Americans are all obese, overweight, and obsessed with fast food.
I love that stereotype because, I mean, everything here is extra large. Like Heather can attest to this. When we go to restaurants,
ridiculous.
our portions are insane.
And that's why I should be American. It's not fair.
Well, I was gonna say, and it blew my mind, like especially because
you think you're big now?
Oh, dude!
Imagine if you lived in America, dude.
It is a constant fight to stay at the weight that I am, and I'm still a bigger guy. Like I'm not obese, but I'm a bigger guy.
But you're thick.
I'm thick, yeah.
Like,
But Heather can attest. She's been here a couple times now visiting with me. Like the dinner plates, like what was it? The nachos and the salad that you ended up getting was freaking huge, and it was
I didn't know it was for a family of 4.
right, and it was cheap, which is crazy.
Just like Scott.
I am cheap, yeah.
I went to Macca's in Seattle, and I got like a small, like quarter pounder meal or whatever, and they're fucking small. It's huge. It's like our large, man. Legit.
So that is true. I've heard that.
Yeah, man.
True or not?
Also, you get like free refills and shit.
Yeah.
You do.
Oh, what?
And get this. All right, so I took Heather to the Trillium Cinemas here to go see
McGriddle's a fucking boss.
Gretel and Hansel. And she's like, all right, yeah, we'll get a popcorn, like a large popcorn. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'll do one. And I told her, I'm like, oh, and the large popcorns here come with free refills of popcorn. And she's like, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. When we get it's literally a bucket, like about that big around and about that tall. That is our large popcorn.
And
Such a
Scott
big
kept
dick
moving
for
it,
that.
so I had to stick my hand in deeper and deeper. It was weird. So weird.
But no,
And they
like,
kept calling me Tim, which made it even weirder. But anyway.
Oh my! But yeah, the popcorns here are extra large, and they're free refills, which make no sense because you finish a bucket of popcorn and you're going, I don't want any more popcorn after this.
But yeah, you did.
But usually I'll end up filling it up and then taking it home with me because it's like,
Yeah,
fuck that,
don't
I'm
you
not
lie.
wasting this.
Don't you lie.
But yeah, everything here is just oversized proportions. And when Heather came here and was like surprised by our size of food and stuff, I'm going, really?
So
This
many
is, like,
sizes
normal.
surprised me.
Oh my
Of
god!
food, Tim.
Yes.
But yeah, like it just amazed me when I heard that like other countries' portions are smaller than ours. I'm going, that makes so much more sense now.
Well, it's higher quality ingredients too. Like, let's also.
Like
The food standards are
different.
different in the States than they are in other countries.
Yeah, a lot more.
And that's a fact, everyone. You can Google that. Like, that's a thing.
A lot more overly processed foods here.
But I feel they're not, so I don't need to Google anything.
All right. Well, that's all I got about Australians, Americans. But I've got some about Canadians that I need answered as well. And the first one I need answered
It's not
straight
even
away.
sorry about it.
The first one, Heather, is that Canadians say a boot, not about.
I don't know. Do I, Scott? Do I?
Yeah, you
No,
totally
you-
do.
You don't say a boot. You do have like kind of
A twang, right, in my accent or something?
yeah. You do have a little bit of a twang, but it's more like about. Like you
About.
you pronounce the U more than most.
About.
Yeah, about.
You see, the thing is, Canada, like Australia, is vast. So if you went out to someone in the Maritimes, they may say a boot, or someone very northern. I live an hour outside of the American border, so I'm kind of bastardized to American stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going through this list, and a lot of them are stupid. That like, I don't know who believes this, but like, Canadians have
fight
polar
beavers and
bears.
stuff.
You know what?
Sorry?
You'd be surprised. I've had people ask me. I've been in Buffalo, which is 15 minutes across the border, and I've said, "Oh, it's really cold." They're like, "Well, how's the weather back for you?" And I'm like, "It's an hour away. It's the same motherfucking climate."
But have you ever had someone ask you, "Do you have polar bears
Yes.
as pets?"
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
as
Well, not
pets?
pets, but like if I've seen one,
Do they
but-
bring you
Okay.
Coca-Colas?
they do. They do with all their baby bears and scarves. Actually,
Oh, cool. Excellent.
polar bears do not reside in Ontario. They are in the northern West Territories. I know people that don't even understand how big Canada is. You'd be surprised the questions I've been asked. A lot.
It is pretty mind-boggling. Some of the things I've even heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
What else you got?
another one is Canadians are all very polite.
Yes. Like, we're all wearing masks, but we're not happy about it. So people will put them on and wear them, but like their protesting is maybe they take a foot in the store and they haven't put it on yet, and then they put it on quickly.
Yeah, but you'll know. You'll know that they won't.
But they're like, I fucking hesitated.
Also,
yeah.
thing I noticed, everyone holds the door for you.
They do. And then if you don't say thank you, they're going to judge you. Like, you'll walk away and they'll be like,
looks.
I know we're filming this and no one can see it, but they'll turn around and stare at you as you walk away. And they'll be like,
yeah.
You got a fucking problem?
See, and I'm the type of asshole, because I guess I'm part Canadian, but I'm also like the American rude part of me too, because I'll be like, someone walks in after I'm holding a door open for them and they don't say anything, I'll just be like, you're welcome.
Yeah, I do that too, though. Yeah. Yeah. There was a meme.
Overly polite. It's true.
There was a meme that I saw that made me laugh my ass off. Back when the Black Lives Matter thing was like just happening, and everyone was
carefully, Tim.
This
it's okay, you guys are racist. We talked about this already.
And everyone was slamming the police, and there was a meme. Someone did a graffiti saying, "Canadians are angry too," and the graffiti was "Darn the police."
Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny. Someone tagged me on that. Darn the police.
All right,
we had protests, but they weren't violent. No one heard about them because they were peaceful and the police marched with us.
Right.
We're pretty cheesed off over here.
Right? Like, don't you know? Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Canadians are overly apologetic.
Yeah, except with Scott. I don't apologize to him.
She
But anyone
does not.
else, I'm really like I'll be like, oh, sorry, pardon, what did you, sorry, sorry. But there's not all Canadians are like that, obviously.
You just
right?
get a fucking staunch cunt on them.
That's right. That's right. So what did you say, torch cunt?
Oh, staunch.
Staunch.
Fuck. How
Make
do I
yourself
explain
big.
staunch? Yeah, like aggressive.
Oh yes, passive
Like
aggressive.
we call it, being like staunch, like fucking Jane up to someone.
That's me. That's me
Yeah.
all the time. I've flocked my peacock feathers, and I'm like, no fuck with me.
Heather, does all Canadians say "eh" at the end of every sentence?
I
Yeah.
apparently say it.
I've never heard you say it.
Brandon
Besides-
Orlick has heard me say it and makes fun of me for it. Yeah. He'll be like,
Ooh,
oh,
yeah.
hey, Heather, what are you going to do today? Yeah, it happens.
You'll do that in a message to me, but like I've never heard you
Hey.
actually say it out loud. Besides
Maybe.
mocking.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently I do.
Hmm.
I know. And I
Um,
talk to you a lot, so I'm surprised
yeah.
you haven't heard it.
Canadians have the best bacon.
It's the same fucking bacon everybody
Fucking-
else eat. Like, I
no.
don't understand.
No,
Like,
no,
the
no.
rest is ham.
We have the best bacon.
Yeah, you probably do. It's the
Really?
same shit.
Yeah, their bacon is those little fucking pissy strips.
No, it's not. We have good bacon. We have P-mail.
The like long ones with the rind and stuff.
Yes.
I
We have
didn't
a
see it.
variety of bacon.
Okay.
We're not just one bacon nation. Daniel. Tired of these stereotypes. You and your fucking bacon. Go have a
Alright.
Foster's. Anyway.
All right, the last one that I've got, and I can totally see this being real, is Canadians' bills, like money, smell like maple syrup.
No, but they're different colors and they have birds on them, and it's really difficult for me to figure out American money. I panic all the time. I'm like, is this $1 or is it $10? Oh my god, I have all these American dollars. I don't know what to do with them because all our money's color coded, and we have loonies and toonies.
Yeah, in
Which are
America, the
coins.
stereotype.
Love toonies.
You love toonies?
Yeah, they're great.
You must
It's
have
like
gone to
two
some
coins
strip club.
smashed together.
Yeah, I do have to say, in America, a lot of Americans call the Canadian money monopoly money because it's just so bright and colorful.
Oh, by the way, another Canadian thing that that all the Americans come up here for is at our strip clubs, strippers
Bevo?
get naked.
Yeah, well, we have strip clubs here where strippers get naked, but you can only be. There's no alcohol served at those ones.
Yeah, there's alcohol and bitches and men are getting naked. I've been to a male and female strip club. Dude had his dong out, was hard, and was naked on stage, thrusting into women. Shit,
Oh, yeah.
it's real in Canada.
And the
Not like-
drinking age is a lot
19.
younger.
You
And
guys
what
have
is the drinking age in
99%.
Australia?
18.
18.
Wow.
It's
So
18
it's just
in Quebec.
wow. So it's just Americans that are like, yeah, you gotta be 21.
But
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
kind of starts at like 15, if not
Yeah.
earlier.
I started at
Yeah.
15.
Yeah. See, I started at 18, so yeah, about the same. It's just like 3 years different. Like, but just because we can't do it till we're 21.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah.
And I am pretty much. I know.
I'm just kidding. Scott's lived a much more exciting life than I have. Is that it, Tim?
That's it. That's all I got.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there's always this one, Heather, that always drives you nuts that I just got to bring up,
What?
and that is Canada. It's always snowing.
She looks like she's about to snap.
Yep, she hates that one so much.
That's why it's
'cause-
so white
You know what I
outside.
also hate? That I get 80% of my paycheck taxed.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's my favorite. But we won't go into that because Tim has to go to bed soon.
It's a pretty high
Because
tax
there's a
rate.
time zone change. So on that note, I would like to send a very big, huge thank you to both Tim and Daniel for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a fucking blast.
You guys
Hi,
have been an
thank you.
inspiration for me for podcasting. I've learned a lot from you. I never miss a show. I'm always laughing at Daniel's jokes. And I always like when Tim
Well
goes
done,
off
man.
about shit. He's really funny too.
Maybe if you could be funny and she'd laugh at them.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you guys were our first guests. Means a lot to us that you could be here.
You're our first time.
No,
I knew
thank
our
you
first
so
time
much,
would be
guys.
special.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It was an absolute honor coming on your show, and you guys are another show that I can't miss an episode ever. Unlike Daniel, who always misses them. But
I try.
I was like, Tim and Daniel are so you and me, Heather, because you say that about their show to me. Like, see, I'm a bigger fan because I listen to all their episodes. And Scott's still behind.
I am a bigger fan though.
We'll
I
see
am.
about that.
but no, thank you once again, guys. Really appreciate it. This is a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was
so,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you guys want to listen to a less good show, you can check us out at Horror For Dummies.
And you can leave them a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts for their horror prize pack giveaway, which is going to be not nudes. I was kidding about that.
That's only for us.
That's
Maybe.
only for us if we
Hey.
win. I will be leaving a 5-star written review. I'm not sure if I'm going to put my name on it, and I just want to see if you guys can figure out that it's fine or not. But yeah, and you don't have to send me anything because it's in Canada. So if I win, you can put my name back in the
Alright.
draw. I don't want
Daniel's
you
paying for
spending
it,
that
so.
much money. No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Ship, so.
We're going to try and figure it out.
All right, awesome. Well, I guess on that note, Scott, should you? What are we doing next, Scott? What are we doing next? What the fuck are we doing?
I think we were hinting at, like, you and I were discussing doing, like, the actual haunted houses.
Oh shit,
the
yeah.
actual stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of pinpoint our direction on what we're going to do there. But yeah, I think it's going to have to do with, like, ghosts and supernatural.
As you can tell, everything's super pre-planned.
Oh,
Planned
I know
out.
we're really professional. You know, we just set the bar really, really, really high. You can also hear Scott and I on It's Not Horror Okay, which is a bi-weekly commentary show that Scott and I do.
Yep, which we just covered the most amazing sex comedy out there, Joysticks from 1983, which was my pick, and everybody hated me for it.
It is true. It is true. That is true. All right. In the meantime, thank you, gentlemen, and unpleasant dreams.
Pleasant dreams.
Say goodbye.
Unpleasant dreams. Goodbye.
Oi, 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 oi.
Fuck.
And on that note.
Correct.